In the quest for the Grey Cup, two teams have stood apart. Both are led by fearless quarterbacks, surrounded by potent weapons. Both feature dominating defenders, leading hard-hitting, deadly defenses. And both are coached by men who have won it all before. It's a possible Grey Cup preview on the CFL Live next. Town Showdown, the beast of the East meets the best of the West. It's the Stamps and Ticats on the CFL Live. Hey everybody, hope your Sunday is going well. It's about to get a lot better. Perhaps the matchup of the year in the CFL this season, the Stamps and Ticats. James Duthie along with Schulte and E.T. on a Sunday afternoon. And today the Stamps will try to do something that no other team has done this season. Get a victory on the road in Hamilton. They don't call it Ivor win for nothing. The Ticats are 6-0-1 there this season. Of course, the Stamps coming off back-to-back losses. Can they get back on track in Steeltown today?
I think they can. You know, Calgary's already won the West, but this is an important game, James, for other reasons. Calgary needs to reestablish their confidence, their aggressiveness, their team personality. You know, I had dinner with Wally last night, and he still has great confidence in this team. He thinks they're good enough to win the Grey Cup. But they're not good enough to just show up and play. They have to play hard, like I said, aggressively. And look for that to start today. They want to control the line of scrimmage, establish the run, particularly run the ball effectively on first down. I think it's going to be old-fashioned mouth-mash football, and I think you got to love it, Chris.
Well, I agree that they do have to have a different attitude now in the rest of the season, but in looking at Hamilton at 10-3-1, this is a wonderful opportunity to finish first in the East. Then you get home field advantage, and you get that week off, which is a great rejuvenation period. More than anything else with Hamilton, I'm looking for the trio of Lancaster, McManus, and Flutie to come up big. Remember, these three have had success together, and they've had success against the Calgary Stampeders, and there's no reason why that success as Ticats can't transfer over starting this afternoon. James, those three players, more than any other three players, have to play well consistently throughout the year, and they have, but more so this afternoon.
All right, and I mentioned Hamilton with the best home record in the league, Calgary with the best road record in the league at 5-2. Should be a good one. For more, let's send you out to Hamilton. Here are John Wells and Glenn Suter.
James, this still looks like the best bet matchup for the Grey Cup in Winnipeg, November 22nd. Stamps are the best team in the West. Tiger Cats are the best team in the East. Now, Calgary was rolling along at 9-3 until 2 weeks ago when they ran into Saskatchewan and then BC last week.
Yeah, they were really hot. I mean, when you look back to a couple of weeks ago, this is the hottest team in the CFL. They had won 6 of their last 7 and were averaging 33 points a game. All 4 of their starting receivers at that time were on pace for 1,000 yards. And then the difference a couple of weeks makes. A loss to BC, a loss to Saskatchewan. All of a sudden, they have people wondering. Now, it should be noted that in last week's game versus the BC Lions, they were missing Vince Danielson, Terry Vaughn, and Travis Moore.
Now, the good news for the Stampeders today, 2 of their outstanding wide receivers are back. Moore and Vaughn will play in this one today.
Yeah, and remember, Travis Moore was the guy who hurt the Hamilton defense in the first matchup between these two teams. He had 2 touchdowns in that game, including the game winner.
Now, you look at the Calgary Stampeders, faces the Hamilton Tiger Cats defense, and wonder about this. The Ticats lead the league with 44 sacks and 32 interceptions, and the question really is, what comes first, the interceptions or the sacks?
Well, I'm a DB, I would say interceptions, but in the big picture, I think it's the sacks. 44 sacks is an indication that the Hamilton Tiger Cats game in and game out and play in and play out are putting pressure on the quarterback, and that means you're going to get a lot more interceptions. And, of course, Alondro Steinauer leads this team with interceptions. He won't play this afternoon.
So what we've got here is the best of the best, and the winner here today will have bragging rights at least for a couple of weeks.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Wally Buono's troops should be in a foul mood after 2 straight losses. They'll try to take it out on the Tabbies. Kickoff is coming up.
Drive into a Travelodge location.
Indy Carnival Australia Grand Prix, live on TSN.
It is an absolutely glorious afternoon for football in Hamilton. Happy Thanksgiving from John Wells and Glenn Sitter here at Ivor Wynne Stadium.
Well, it's Thanksgiving, but we're not going to see a turkey this afternoon between these two teams. The best in the West, the Calgary Stampeders at 9-5, and the best in the East, Hamilton at 10-3-1.
At the Calgary bench, Wally Buono, a little steamed after back-to-back losses in Saskatchewan and at home to BC. It's time to find the intensity again.
Ron Lancaster already led this team to 10 victories. Amazing turnaround for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, but he'd like a little revenge this afternoon because Calgary Stampeders are the only team that Hamilton Tiger Cats haven't beat this year.
Can you believe it? It's October the 11th, and it's an absolutely perfect afternoon, 18 degrees, a little breeze, and here's Paul Osbaldiston set to get this thing underway. He's had a superb year. Anderson is deep along with his running mate for the Calgary Stampeders, Coleman, number 17. We're underway in Steeltown. Short kick. Bouncing to Marvin Coleman. A nice seam opens up for the Stampeders on this return. He's out to about the 50-yard line. The starting lineups today are brought to you by Midas Car Care, the way it should be. Jeff Garcia had a rough week against the Lions, just 123 yards passing. Today he gets 2 key receivers back, Terry Vaughn and Travis Moore. Running back Kelvin Anderson closes in on another 1,000-yard season. And up front, the offensive line has to be better this time around. It'll be 1st and 10, Stampeders approaching their own 50-yard line. Garcia hands it off to Anderson. The gain is a couple for Kelvin Anderson.
Defensively for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, they're led up front by, of course, Joe Mumford, who leads the league in sacks with 20. In second is Alfred Payton, 5 away. In the secondary, Reggie Love gets his second start, replacing Alondro Steinauer. Steinauer, of course, leads Hamilton with 8 interceptions. Won't play this afternoon.
This could be real tough for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. The injured player down there is Eric Carter, who is, if not the best, among the very best cornerbacks in the league and a good team guy. And he is hurt on the opening sequence of plays defensively for the Tiger Cats. It appears to be somewhat serious down there as they attend to Eric Carter.
Well, this is a huge loss right off the bat for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. I mean, Eric Carter, 5 interceptions on the season and definitely in pain out there. He's also a leader out there for this defense, so devastating loss if he cannot return.
One area that the Tiger Cats have had some injury problems is in the secondary, which has played extremely well this year. Orlando Steinauer is out for at least another week. Frank West is also on the sideline, so filling in back there will be a little difficult for Hamilton right now. Chris Schelling is listed as the backup in that area, number 30, but he doesn't have very much experience.
Well, it really has been the strength of their team. The Hamilton Tiger Cat defense are really doing a nice job up front. 44 sacks. Of course, we talked about Mumford leading the way. 32 interceptions. Eric Carter, a big reason for that. He has 5 of those 32. This would be a huge loss for him. Ron Lancaster knew coming in that the strength of his team would be the defense, at least early, while they have been all season.
And the strength of that defense would have to be this guy, at least statistically. Joe Mumford is as good as they get in Canadian football, according to Don Southern. He's seen a lot of guys play this spot, and he thinks Mumford is right there with the very best. This guy started as a linebacker. They moved him up to the D-line as a rush in, and he's really found a home there for the Tiger Cats. Best defensive player in the East this season, is that without question, or is that...
Well, you'd probably get some questions from other camps, but you know what? He is having the best year in the East, no question about it. Joe Mumford, 20 sacks on the season. Don Southern lets him get a lot of one-on-one matchups if he can. That's what he likes. Try and get Joe Mumford one-on-one with a tackle.
Now here's the good news for Hamilton. Carter is up and under his own steam, headed over to the bench. So he could be back in this ball game. We'll check out the injury situation there. It is second down and 6 to go. Stampeders at their own 53. Garcia shotgun, has time to get it away. And he was behind the target, which was Pitts. Nicely tipped away.
Well, just to let
Gerald Vaughn, sorry.
Just to let you know, John, what they've done to replace Eric Carter is move Reggie Love to the corner. And then they brought Kyle Walters, the backup safety.
Hamilton, number 22, first down.
Hamilton gets a penalty after the play on Willie Whitehead, who returns to the lineup. Just to let you know, that's how they're going to replace him now. Reggie Love, who's starting his first game at halfback, or second game, excuse me, for Steinauer, now has to move out to the corner. Kyle Walters moves to the halfback.
Objectionable conduct against Willie Whitehead gives the Calgary Stampeders a first down. And they're now at the Tiger Cat 47. Kelvin Anderson's second carry. He's met quickly and wrapped up. Montford is in there. Hitchcock was blitzing on the play. Anderson closing in on his third straight 1,000-yard season. He should go over 1,000 today.
Yeah, he'll likely be over 1,000 yards on the year, no question about it. Kelvin Anderson is definitely the key for the Calgary Stampeders, or at least one of them. They have to have him have success on first down.
Maybe not over 1,000 a day. He'd need over 140, but he's got 864. Garcia felt the heat, got it away. Short of the first down. Arlane made the catch, and he was wrapped up by Chris Schelling.
In week 1, Calgary played Hamilton. Mike Philbrick put 7 stitches in the chin of Jeff Garcia. Well, guess what? Mike Philbrick wants to make his presence known again early in this one. That's Philbrick hitting Garcia on that play.
Philbrick missed the Tiger Cats training camp, arrived after game 1 of the preseason schedule and said, geez, maybe I'll change my mind and come back and try and play. And that's been a big difference for the Tiger Cats up front. Number 77. Mark McLaughlin has had a bit of an injury problem in the past week. We'll see how he does with this one spotted at the 49-yard line. Hitting on 67% of his field goals.
Yeah, and you know, when you have an injury as a kicker, the further out you have to try and attempt from, the tougher it is, because there's a tremendous amount of torque on your leg the longer away you are.
It's down, and McLaughlin has it up, and he's wide. Ticats will give up the single point as Bobby Olive couldn't handle it and decided to let it roll through anyway. So a long single by McLaughlin. The Stampeders have the lead. It's 1-0 on CFL Live.
Play Safeway's $1 million.
Psoriasis, seborrheic dermatitis, dandruff.
CFL Live on TSN is brought to you by the Keg Steakhouse and Bar. For great steaks, good friends. See you tonight.
Danny McManus fired 3 touchdown passes last week as the Ticats annihilated the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
4 or 5.
Great numbers on the season. 4,055 yards passing. Shotgun. McManus stands in.
Oh,
on target and a big hit on Mike Morreale. But he hung on to the football short of the first down. Near perfect game for McManus last week, over 460 yards. Key to the Ticats passing game, the slot backs, Morreale, who has one already, and Darren Flutie, two superb backs, and Archie Amerson and Ronald Williams. And the O-line has been solid, allowing just 14 sacks. And Suits, that's a league, or 12 sacks, that's a league low.
Well, that part of that reason is because Danny McManus has the quick release.
The gain was 4, 2nd and 6. McManus had Morreale, and he couldn't quite hang on. Good coverage by Jack Kellogg, number 3 for the Stampeders. Stride for stride with Morreale.
Defensively for the Calgary Stampeders, up front, Bronzell Miller back in the lineup. He has 7 sacks on the season. He will help to anchor that front 4. Jason Clement gets another start at the middle linebacker position. And in the secondary, William Hampton and Marvin Coleman are on the corners. Jack Kellogg, already 6 interceptions on the year, is playing the halfback with Eddie Davis. Van Bellingham is the safety.
On 3rd down, Ozzie is in, standing back at his 30-yard line. Coleman, the lone man deep for Calgary, standing near his 20. Osbaldiston into a bit of a breeze, and this is a wobbler. Bouncing near the 35. Coleman has it roll by all the way down to the 20-yard line. There'll be nowhere to go this time for Marvin Coleman, wrapped up immediately. 42-yard punts by Osbaldiston. So look at the keys for success for the Calgary Stampeders to turn things around for Wally today.
They have to do 3 things. Success on first down. That will mean the involvement of Calvin Anderson. Hamilton, 44 sacks on the season. If they get in second along, they can pin their ears back.
They've been vulnerable against the run.
They have to. They have to shore up their run defense, no question about it. Didn't have a good week last week, and play as well as their record. People are starting to doubt. They may be second-guessing themselves a little bit after back-to-back losses.
They were 9-3 and on top of the world 2 weeks ago when we ran into them at Taylor Field. And all of a sudden, a couple of losses, and people wonder again. It's still a fine football team. Here's Garcia. And right on target out near the 50-yard line, he has Travis Moore.
Garcia's pass is complete.
Gerald Vaughn was covering. The gain is 24.
We talked about it in the opening. Travis Moore back in the lineup after missing last week with an ankle injury. Travis Moore was the guy who really went after the Hamilton secondary the first time these two teams played. He had the game-winning touchdown. He's back in the lineup and back healthy. He tried to come back a couple of games back, but wasn't quite ready. He's healthy again now.
Stands for the first down at the Calgary 50. Garcia keeps it on the ground. This is Anderson again out to the 55, at least 5 on the carry.
Calvin Tickle stops it.
Hitchcock was there as one of the tacklers.
Well, when we talked about that first key, success on first down for the Calgary Stampeders, Calvin Anderson will be the key to that, whether it be running the ball or short passes out of the backfield. They can get into second and short situations. The Hamilton defense will have to respect Calvin Anderson on every play.
At midfield, it's 2nd and 5. Stampeders, Garcia shotgun to buy some time. Barely got it away. Here's Pitts, makes the catch. He's still going. Alan Pitts inside the 30 and dropped at the 25. And there's a marker down on the line of scrimmage right back at midfield. If it stands, it's a 25-yard gain.
Offside, Hamilton number 53.
And it stands.
Decline.
Quick start for Joe Montford. And a little too quick that time.
Joe Montford's coming up here. He gets that quick jump off the snap of the ball and is right around the corner. Forced Garcia to throw it quickly, but cheated a little bit to get there that fast.
Actually, it's closer to a 30-yard gain on the play from Garcia to his favorite target, Alan Pitts. From the 25, Calgary first down. Calvin Anderson, nice run off tackle right. He's inside the 15-yard line. They wanted to establish the run game, and Anderson has done a pretty decent job thus far.
But you got to establish him. You got to have him run the football to have success in your passing game. Wally Buono knows that if he can get Calvin Anderson 20, 25 touches, that means he gets the football either catching it or running it 25 times, that they will have success. George Cortez always tries to keep that in the game plan. Now, the game can sometimes take you out of it if you're behind, but
Hamilton fake by Garcia. He goes to the corner, and not quite.
Garcia's pass goes incomplete.
Looking for Vaughn.
Well, we just talked about it, John. I mean, establish the running game, and then you throw in the play action. And that's exactly what they did on that play. When you've established the run game, even in a series, watch how it can affect the defense. Little fake there gives Garcia plenty of time, influencing the defense.
Nice drive rolling for the Stampeders. It began back at the Calgary 26. Key play here on second down. Garcia felt the heat. And it was almost picked off by Gerald Vaughn. So the Stampeders have been inside the 40 a couple of times and have 1 point thus far, and will have to settle for a field goal try here.
Well, and they'll take it because Gerald Vaughn comes up with this interception. Wasn't an easy catch. He had to kind of lay out for it, but if he comes up with that, a good drive comes away with nothing for Calgary Stampeders. So they're going to be happy with 3 here, no question.
Question there, who was the target?
Well, Kelvin Anderson was under, Alan Pitts was over. He kind of threw it in between.
The middle, yeah.
Little pressure on Garcia, though. It makes it a little tougher when you got a guy in your face.
McLaughlin will try a 20-yarder. This time, no question about it. Stampeders have 4 on the board now. And the Tiger Cats still looking to get on the scoreboard on their home park, Ivor Wynne Stadium. Back at Ivor Wynne in Hamilton, a worrisome problem for the Tiger Cats already in this game with Eric Carter on the sidelines. Let's bring in David Amber.
Thanks, John. Yeah, good news for Jeff Garcia and the wide receivers. Orlando Steinauer's already out with his 8 picks, and Eric Carter hurt right knee. They're icing it right now. His status is questionable, whether he'll be back later on. That's 13 interceptions gone for the Ticats. They're in for a long day unless someone could step up and pull in the slack. Back to you guys.
They'll make adjustments all afternoon. It's first down for Danny McManus. Takes his time, and he has Darren Flutie. And that should be a first down, Hamilton. This has been a wonderful combination in Edmonton and now in Hamilton. Danny McManus, Darren Flutie. Flutie over 1,000 yards 6 times in 8 years.
Yeah, and the 5 touchdowns. And you know, when Danny McManus needs the first down, he's going to go to Darren Flutie. And sometimes they don't even call a play. Sometimes they'll just say, hey, wherever the defensive back lines up, you go the other way and I'll find you.
Archie Amerson's first carry. It was wrapped up early and then smothered for a loss of about 3 yards. This guy's had a wonderful season, 655 yards rushing, 587 yards receiving. He's a double threat coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, he really is. And this Hamilton offense all of a sudden have come up with a bit of a running game. Last week versus Winnipeg, they had a very good day along the ground. And they want to establish that, especially if the weather changes, which it likely does around this time of year in this country.
Pretty good bet that that's going to happen, but it's not today because it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. On second down, he had his target, and Flutie couldn't hang on. Right on the money, McManus to Flutie, and he doesn't drop many like that.
It's a formation that Hamilton has used the last 3 or 4 weeks. What they do is they put 5 receivers to one side and isolate Darren Flutie in the backside. Defensively, you can defend it 2 different ways. You can leave your corner one-on-one, which is what Calgary did, or you can play zone and have linebacker help to the backside. If you play zone, Hamilton outnumbers you to the field. If you play man, you got one-on-one with Darren Flutie, and that's tough as well.
Paul Osbaldiston ties Glenn Suter's mark of 194 consecutive games played here this afternoon. What a wonderful career Ozzy's had, 194 straight games. This one almost blocked, but he got it away. It's Coleman, and it's deep. Nice return by Marvin Coleman. A 52-yard punt. Ozzy got it away under some pressure.
Bronick and Shaw for Hamilton on the start.
Keys for the Tiger Cats this afternoon. First, score early.
Yeah, I think when you're playing a team that is starting to doubt itself a little bit like the Calgary Stampeders, maybe if you score early, you can take the wind out of their sails. Key on Calvin Anderson. We talked about his importance to the Calgary offense, and avoid penalties. Hamilton is really second in the league for fewest penalties, but of late, they've had problems with it. 12 penalties last week for 81 yards.
Stampeders begin inside the 30-yard line. They lead at 4-0. Calvin Anderson is wrapped up in a hurry. The Ticats were waiting that time.
Yeah, see, now you're playing right into the Hamilton defensive scheme with Don Southern. Now, this is what Don loves to have the situation. 2nd and 9. He can send the pressure. Now, he only has to send 4 because he can get pressure with 4. So now this is where those guys up front can pin their ears back a little bit, take off running. You're going to see Mumford in a big pass rush move here. And he can drop back and play zone. This is what Hamilton wants defensively.
This is 2nd and 8. Garcia moves to the shotgun. Can't find a target, sprints out, and then finds Travis Moore. The spot will be interesting here, where they put the ball down, and from my vantage point, it looks like they had the first down.
Yeah, it was on second effort from Travis Moore that the Calgary Stampeders have the first down, because he was seriously whacked on the play. I mean, he's going to catch this pass coming out of the backfield. Now, he catches it right out in the flat here from Garcia and gets hammered. Bang, bang. Couple big hits. Gerald Vaughn, one of them, but stretches for the first down.
Stampeders out at the 39, leading 4-0. Again, it's Calvin Anderson. Markers fly as Anderson breaks through for about 8. So we'll check out the infraction here.
Flags are down.
Well, according to Ron Lancaster, this one's going back.
Holding. Calgary, number 50. First down repeated.
That's Jay McNeil.
Repeat first down, 1st and 20.
The O-line really had a tough week against the Lions last week at McMahon. Garcia was sacked 3 times on consecutive plays in the 4th quarter, when the Stampeders still had an opportunity to stay in the ballgame and stay with the Lions.
It's been a bit of a lack of emotion for the Calgary Stampeders over the past 2 weeks, no question.
First down, and it goes as a direct snap to Anderson, who breaks through, and he's almost back to the original line of scrimmage. Anderson stepped in front of Garcia and took the snap.
That direct snap to Calvin Anderson can throw off a linebacker who's responsible for the gap in a hurry. See to the right of your screen, Justin Ring, right behind the post. He's going to overrun it because the direct snap goes right to Calvin Anderson. His original path would have taken him to Jeff Garcia, but because it went to Anderson, he overran the play slightly.
So the Stamps get 10 back. It's 2nd and 10. At the 39, Garcia direct snap this time. Montford was chasing. Garcia looks to get it away. The target was Moore, and the coverage was by Chris Schelling.
Well, it is a great play by Chris Schilling for a couple reasons. One is he's covering one of the best wideouts in the league, thrown into action in his first start. He's a rookie here in Hamilton, played in the World League for the champion Rhein Fire. Good abilities, good quickness. A jam on Travis Moore. Alan Pitts is open in behind. Garcia can't find him, and when he does go to Moore down here, Chris Schilling is right on the spot.
Enter Tony Martino, averaging 49 yards a punt. This is Corey Bridges. On the return, Bridges makes it out to the 25 after a 53-yard punt. Danny McManus gets his hands on the ball when we return to Iberwin Stadium, Hamilton.
My car is a lot easier to maintain than these ostriches.
Maintenance is important if it's your hair or your car.
You definitely cannot trust an ostrich.
Cars are like old hockey players. They need lots of maintenance. They break down a lot.
I go to Al's place 3 times a year.
Hi, I'm October the 11th, and it's a great day at the beach.
Chilling out in the hot tub. Not a bad
What a
place to watch
wonderful
a game.
afternoon at Everwin Stadium in Hamilton. Ticats are down by 4. McManus hasn't really moved this Hamilton offense. Had a pretty good opportunity on the last sequence when he hit Darren Flutie. He dropped the ball, and all of a sudden Hamilton was kicking again. Beginning at the 25 on first down. That one is batted down.
Second down.
I think it was Jacobs, number 84, Ray Jacobs.
Yeah, Ray Jacobs got his hand up on that one, I believe, and Ray Jacobs will rotate into the lineup a little bit. You see him heading off now. Aldi Henry comes on for the extra defensive back. Ray Jacobs rotates a little bit in special situations, and with Jeff Traversy, who is healthy again.
On 2nd and 10, McManus looks to the far side, and he missed his target over there, Bobby Olive. So things aren't going well for the Ticats offensively thus far. Hamilton ran up 601 yards in total offense last week against Winnipeg.
Yeah, they're just not in sync yet this early in the game, because that play, Archie Emerson was wide open and McManus didn't see him. The previous drive, McManus hits Darren Flutie, he drops the ball. Just everybody is taking a turn so far for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Osbaldiston back at his 10-yard line. Kicking into a slight breeze here at Iverwin, but not a major factor thus far. The snap a little off target. Ozzie aims it to the near sidelines. There'll be a little running room to his left for Terry Vaughn. Took a pretty good hit down there near the 49. It's a 45-yard kick, and here comes Alan Pitts matching up against Reggie Love as the game began, but they've changed things around a little bit with the injury to Carter.
Well, yeah, I mean, we thought this would be a very good matchup. Alan Pitts against Reggie Love. Alan Pitts, of course, the veteran with 7 touchdowns on the season. Reggie Love just playing in his 2nd game, and now they've also had to do some juggling. So Pitts may be up against Chris Schilling. Love may be moving back and forth from the halfback to the corner. So we'll watch how that develops and how Hamilton handles the injury to Eric Carter.
Love was at the Tiger Cats camp and released shortly after that. He's been back on the practice roster recently. Garcia bobbled it momentarily, then found Vaughn, and Vaughn turns this into a nice 8-yard gain, maybe 9, for the final stretch as he's wrapped up by Justin Ring.
Justin Ring stops him.
Ring noted as a quick linebacker who covers extremely well.
Second down.
Yeah, Terry Vaughn has quietly put together 4 great seasons in a row. I mean, he is going to have 1,000 yards again this year for the Calgary Stampeders.
This is 2nd and 2. Not surprisingly, Kelvin Anderson gets the call and should have the first down out across the 50-yard line.
Obi Spanik stops him.
Last week, Jeff Garcia passed for 123 yards, completing just 16 of 29 for 1 touchdown. It was not a memorable week for a guy who's put up a couple of 400-yard games back-to-back in his career.
Yeah, it hasn't been a memorable week for the whole football team, and Jeff Garcia has been one of the most vocal of the Stampeders in the media and with the club.
Stampeders first down. Garcia has time, and his target was interfered with. Travis Moore, number 83. Covering on the play was Kyle Walters. Moore went down, and I think it has to be interference against the Tiger Cats.
Well, this will be one way that the Calgary Stampeders will be able to try and take advantage.
Forward pass interference. Hamilton, number 7. First down, Calgary.
It's one way they'll try and take advantage of the injury situation in the Hamilton secondary. They'll move Travis Moore inside because he will line up then one-on-one with Kyle Walters. And you see the holding that was going on. Kyle Walters right there on Travis Moore. Kyle Walters is a backup safety, and he's being forced now to play halfback a little bit.
All this because of the injury on the first sequence to Eric Carter, who is the best guy in that entire Tiger Cat secondary and one of the best in the league. So they've had to make adjustments back there. Garcia is trying to find areas that he can exploit. There should be a couple back there.
Yeah, and now you see Ron Lancaster going in the ball, or looking into the field. He's saying right now that what they're going to do is leave Reggie Love on the corner. They might put Chris Schilling in now at halfback so they can get maybe a better one-on-one matchup and move Kyle Walters now over to the safety position. They in 3 series, the last 3 series for the Stamps, they've shown 3 different looks in the secondary. Tom Southern trying to experiment a little bit of what might work best.
First down, Calgary. Garcia with a little play action fake, looking for Vaughn. And stride for stride with Vaughn was Derek Greer. Pretty nice coverage by number 20.
Yeah, and they did a smart thing. Don Southern did a real smart thing here. What he did on the play is play zone to the field where he has all his injury problems and left Derek Greer one-on-one on the backside. I'm a little surprised that Garcia chose to go backside. Derek Greer, of course, one of the best cover men in the league from the corner position, has 4 interceptions on the year. Went back to the backside. He had zone on the front side.
2nd and 10, Stampeders now. From the Ticat 39, Calgary leads 4-0. Garcia on target. First down, Stampeders at the 25-yard line as Travis Moore pulls it in and is dropped almost in his tracks.
Well, now they're coming with blitz. So there's a couple ways you think about it from the Hamilton point of view. You can send pressure on Garcia. Maybe he can't get a chance to throw that football, and you don't have to worry about your secondary. But right now, on that last play, Rob Hitchcock had to go up and play middle linebacker. So Travis Moore takes advantage of this makeshift Hamilton defense in a hurry. Already almost 50 yards on the afternoon.
This will be the last play of the opening quarter at Iverwin. It is a Calgary first down. Garcia has his sights set on the end zone.
Threw it away.
Had to unload. The pressure was too much. And the closest target was Dwayne Ford. So the Stampeders are on top. It's 4-0. And Iverwin, happy Thanksgiving from TSN.
You're watching CFL Live, and we're at the quarter. Here's your host, James Duthie.
All right, welcome back to CFL Football Control. And, you know, you might have thought off the top that this was a good time for Hamilton to catch Calgary coming off 2 straight losses. Perhaps it's the exact opposite. This is a proud team, and this is an angry team, and Chris, they're playing like it.
They are an angry team, and one of the reasons was Alondra Johnson went through the papers stating the fact that he felt they had too many nice football players. And I cannot think of another adjective worse than to describe a football team or your teammate as nice. That's an insult. And I think that relates to what's happening in this game. You get rewarded in football for aggressive play. I see a good offensive line surge by the Calgary Stampeders, but more importantly, when the backs or the receivers catch the football for Hamilton, they're coming up making physical tackles. This is one of the more aggressive games that Calgary's played, and on the other hand, Hamilton does not look that good right now.
Chris, Hamilton looks very lethargic. They've just been very average on offense. They've dropped, what, 2-3 balls in the first quarters? You've got to catch the football. And defensively, the injury to Eric Carter in the opening kickoff is just critical. It really changes what they can do defensively, James.
4-0 is a score after 1 quarter of play. Perhaps Hamilton coming up with their turkey 1 day early, but it is still early. For second quarter action, let's send it back to John Wells and Glenn Suter in Hamilton.
All right, James, and Ron Lancaster has to be a little bit concerned about an offense that only generated 14 yards in the opening quarter.
Well, he's got to get his offense clicking. We talked about each guy offensively making a mistake, and which is stop drive. So he's got to get that going. Wants to probably reestablish a running game that has all of a sudden emerged in the last couple of weeks and try and keep the Calgary defense off balance. Ron Williams has not touched the football yet. He had the big week last week versus the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and defensively, really, they just got to hold on right now. Calgary has come out aggressively, but to their credit, the Hamilton Tiger Cats have bent a bit and not broken. Calgary could be worse, could be a lot worse.
Stampeders have dominated statistically, as you can see there, 125 net yards to 14. As mentioned, 8 first downs for Calgary. just one for the Tiger Cats.
-3 yards rushing, exactly what we talked about. Danny McManus needs some help. He needs some help from his running backs. He needs some help from his receivers catching the football, and then he'll be the first to tell you that when he's got a guy like Archie Emerson wide open like he did in the second series of this game, you got to find him.
Meantime, it's up to the Tiger Cats defense right now as they stare at a 2nd and 10 situation for the Stampeders. Calgary set up at the 25. Garcia will feel some heat. He got it away. A beautiful pass to Travis Moore, who will have a first down near the 10-yard line. It's at about the 12. Moore has played well so far.
Well, we talked a lot about Calgary getting Calvin Anderson involved, but when you're playing against a makeshift secondary, your tendency is going to be to throw the football, no question about it. And Travis Moore has been the go-to guy so far in this game.
He's close to 100% after missing last week. Not quite there, but they really needed to get him back in the lineup. On first down, Garcia keeps it on the ground. It's Calvin Anderson, and it's touchdown. Calvin Anderson, his 7th rushing touchdown of the season. And the Calgary Stampeders move out in front of the Tiger Cats 11-0.
Well, give that ball for the trophy case for the offensive line, because they did a super job of opening up a hole for Calvin Anderson. Look at the size of that hole for him to run through. I don't think anyone really got a hand on him. Jamie Crysdale led the way from the center position and just blew open a hole in that Hamilton defense.
Calvin Anderson has 11 touchdowns total coming into the game, make it 12 now with his 7th rushing touchdown of the season. Converts is good. And Calvin Anderson, the workhorse of the Calgary Stampeders in the opening quarter, hits pay dirt with the first touchdown of the game. Anderson makes it look easy as he hits the Ticat end zone.
Play Safeway's $1 million touchdown to win for your chance to win $1 million. If your name appears, it means you have won Fill-A-Shave with Reflex Action. It adapts comfortably to the contours of your face. Closer contact for a closer shave. Fill-A-Shave from Philips, our closest shave ever. Or the Business Navigator Personal Organizer from Casio with PC synchronization software and large 1 megabyte anti-loss memory. The BN10 packs so much power, it's like having a PC in your pocket. Enter your ballot at your local Safeway Food and Drug today.
If we ask you to invest your money in Altamira funds, shouldn't we be doing the same thing with our own money? Of course. That's why every Altamira fund manager invests their own money in the same fund they want you to invest in. Every one. So they're treating your money like their own money. It gives you confidence as an investor. You feel much better because you know the person's there with you. Side by side, your partners, your team. It's not just business, it's personal.
I'm Neil Lumsden, GM of the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
And I'm head coach Ron Lancaster. The CFL has teamed up with the Canadian Liver Foundation to launch the Touchdown for Tomorrow Hepatitis B Corporate Challenge. We are challenging Canadian companies to have their employees inoculated against this serious but preventable disease.
In Hamilton alone, the city of Hamilton, the region of Hamilton and Wentworth, and Fluke Transport have committed to inoculating their employees. What are you waiting for?
Be offensive, be radical, get immunized against hepatitis B.
Let's go back to that touchdown. Calvin Tiggle right here is coming on the blitz, but watch how well he is going to be blocked up. Jamie Crysdale snaps the football. He gets his body right on Calvin Tiggle there, and then another big block by Jay McNeil on Obi Spanik, and the hole is there for Calvin Tiggle to hit the end zone.
Calvin Anderson has 12 touchdowns now, and that leads the CFL in total TDs. Archie Emerson returning for the Tiger Cats. Pretty nice one out near the 40-yard line. Grabbed from behind by Andre Arlane, number 82. Chrysler Canada presents the scoring drive, and it was a nifty one. 7 plays to cover 61 yards. Anderson hit the end zone.
Yeah, Calvin Anderson hits the end zone on that great, well-blocked running play up the middle for 12 yards. Travis Moore, a big part of that drive as well.
Couple of catches for 28 for Moore. The Ticat offense has not done much so far today. Beginning the second quarter, down 11-0. Danny McManus has just 1 first down. From the shotgun. Releases quickly far side. Andrew Gregg has run out of bounds. Forgotten receiver in the Ticats scheme of things until this season, and he's really had a breakthrough year. 7 catches, 155 yards last week against Winnipeg, and a darn nice season, Suits.
Oh, great season for Andrew Gregg. Probably the nicest surprise for Ron Lancaster coming into training camp was the play of Andrew Gregg, and really part of the key to the success of the Hamilton offense has been the nice balance. Gregg has provided some catches. They've all been over 100 yards at one point, and getting balance out of that team.
6 yards in the previous play. 2nd and 4 for McManus here, going deep, and he missed his target. Darren Flutie streaking down the far side. So McManus and Flutie haven't been able to hook up successfully a great deal here this afternoon. Flutie dropped one on McManus, and that time McManus overthrew the target.
Yeah, well, that time McManus probably should have gone to the field. McManus tried to find Flutie, but he was well covered down there by William Hampton, and it would have had to have been a perfect pass and a real circus catch for Flutie to come up with that one.
Osbaldiston is in. Here's 37-yard line. That's Marvin Coleman ready to return for the Stampeders. Pretty nice kick for Ozzie down to the 15. Markers are down, and Coleman squirts through to about the 25, a 47-yard punt.
Goes to Marvin Coleman.
Coleman is wrapped up by Roca. It's the Stampeders on top by 11. Ticats are unbeaten in 1998 on home turf here at Ivor Wynn. 6-0-1. They're not playing like winners at home so far today offensively, but it's been a pretty nice turnaround for these Tiger Cats. Stampeders were penalized on the previous return for an illegal block, so they'll begin inside the 10-yard line. It's first down, Calgary. Garcia keeps it on the ground. Kelvin Anderson wrapped up in a hurry, trying to follow Childress and McNeil, and Calvin Tiggle led the Ticat tacklers.
Well, Lancaster right now has had to make 4 changes defensively because of one injury to Eric Carter. Right now, he has Rob Hitchcock playing linebacker, Kyle Walters at safety. Then he's moved the rookie Chris Schilling to the halfback and Reggie Love to corner. 4 changes because of one injury.
Should make Garcia drool. On second down, Garcia has Pitts, and Pitts maybe a little shy of the first down. See where he gets a spot.
Complete to Alan Pitts. Chris Schelling in on the tackle for Hamilton.
Chris Schelling might have saved a first down for the Tiger Cats here.
3rd down.
Well, Wally Buono wants a measurement for 2 reasons. 1, he'll know exactly how far he is, and 2, he gets a little bit of a break there to be able to call another play if he decides to gamble.
It's 3rd down. It looks like less than a yard from up here.
Well, you should be able to request a measurement and get it if it's that close, but he's not getting it here. I guess in Hamilton, the rules change a little bit.
Stampeders decide they'll go for it on 3rd and 1. Garcia was hit by Tiggle.
I don't know.
Coming across the top, and it's going to be close. Wally may get his measurement now.
He may get it now. It depends on where the official puts his foot down. That was awful close.
There's a marker down, however, and if it's against Hamilton, that will work in Calgary's favor.
Offside, Hamilton, number 53. First down, Calgary.
2nd time Joe Montford has been called on the offside.
Well, Hamilton had the great surge. Calvin Tiggle came over the top and really made a good play. Obviously, Joe Mumford must have lined up offside. It looked like his hand may have been a little bit in that neutral zone. I'm talking inches there.
Didn't appear that he moved early, number 53,
no.
Did it? 11th first down for the Stampeders. The drive continues. Garcia will get some heat. Sideline pass, and it's batted away. Gerald Vaughn having another nice afternoon in the Tiger Cat secondary. A little underrated, this guy, number 39. 4 interceptions on the season, 8 knockdowns coming in. He's the team leader there And he got to another one here, although it might have been out of bounds, was it?
Well, it took a while for Garcia to throw that football, and that gave Vaughn a chance to get all the way to the sideline. He was playing zone, but once Alan Pitts got into that zone, he broke on the football.
2nd and 10, Stampeders. At the Calgary 24, it's Calgary on top by 11 on the Ticats. Garcia steps up and fires out near the 40-yard line. There wasn't much of an opportunity to complete that one to Willis Marshall.
There is a tremendous chess game going on in this game right now. I mean, Wally Bono right now is thinking he can take advantage of this secondary that is makeshift for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Hamilton goes to a little bit of a southpaw there, and Don Southern on that last play rushes just 3 and drops everyone in zone, avoiding any one-on-one matchups that Calgary could take advantage of. The chess match continues.
Is there a better defensive mind in this league right now than Don Southern?
Well, it's great to watch the two of them. I mean, George Cortez against Don Southern, and then, of course, you got Wally Bono with his input. So you got the two veteran coaches kind of going at it right now.
So far, the Stampeders have dominated the Tiger Cats. Returning for Hamilton, and out near midfield, as a matter of fact, right smack dab on the 55-yard line after a 41-yard kick. And McManus has great field position to work with now.
Yeah, he does. And I think for him to have success now, he's really got to go back to what brung him, and that is involving the running backs, Ron Williams and Archie Amerson, whether it be through the pass or along the ground.
I don't think Williams has touched the ball yet.
No, you got to get both those guys involved. That helps you to open up the pass game.
And it worked well against Winnipeg last week. Moving the football along the ground. Archie Amerson for 3 tough yards. Alondra Johnson.
Well, one thing is certain. You knew Alondra Johnson would be pumped up for this game. I talked about Garcia being vocal with the team and in the media. Well, Alondra Johnson was also vocal. Heard Chris Schultz talking about him accusing his teammates of being too nice. Well, one way to lead is by telling them that. The other way is to lead by example. And Alondra Johnson on that play did both.
Alondra Johnson said there were not enough nasty guys on this team last week after they were humbled by the BC Lions. Could have been a little interference on the target, Amerson, down there, but no flag comes down. Amerson is looking for a call, and a lot of Ticat fans thought there might have been something there, but no penalty, so the Ticats head back to the sidelines on offense one more time.
Well, he got a little bit of a bump. He got a little bit of a bump just before the ball arrived, but I think it was a good no call by the official.
You're siding with the DBs again. I don't know. It wasn't flagrant. There's no doubt about that.
And when you get him close like that, you always, I mean, I think even receivers or running backs will tell you, let the guys play.
Vaughn and Coleman are back. Osbaldiston standing near his 40-yard line. Turnaround season for Osbaldiston. He's been kicking well, and his field goals have been solid as well, hitting on 82% of those, and a long single here for Ozzie, or at least it rolls into the end zone and now through. I don't know if he wanted the single there, but the Ticats are finally on the board. Down to a 10-point advantage. Lancaster has to hope the Tiger Cat offense comes to life soon.
Play Safeway's $1 Million Touchdown to Win, and you could win $1 million or a Samsung Hi8 stereo camcorder. The Dirt Devil.
Interesting matchup we're watching this afternoon. Fred Childress going against Mike Philbrick of Hamilton, number 77.
Well, you talked about the offensive line for Calgary struggling a little bit last week. One guy who didn't was Fred Childress. 2 years in a row, he has been the All-Canadian at the guard position. And to me, is truly the front runner right now for the offensive player out of the West.
He was the West top lineman in 1997, and last week after the game, he said, we stunk the joint out.
Offensive lineman, I should say. Offensive player.
Stampeders on first down. Garcia can't find a target, moves a little bit, and he has one. It's Travis Moore out to the 50-yard line, number 83. Travis has had a nice day. Missed last week with an ankle injury. And back to the line play.
Well, we just talked about the matchup between the big chill Fred Childress and Mike Philbrick, and 1-0 Childress. That white line is the line of scrimmage, and Mike Philbrick did not cross it. That allowed Garcia to complete the pass.
19-yard gain, 1st and 10. Calvin Anderson is wrapped up in the backfield. He escaped. How? I don't know. I thought he was on his way down, but he grabbed a couple more before Rob Hitchcock got up to finally make the stop on him. The gain less than 3, but it should have been a loss of about 5, I thought.
How did he break the tackle of first Willie Whitehead and then Joe Mumford? I mean, those are two pretty good football players. There's the first one, then Mumford has them completely.
Incredible balance is what he had right there. 2nd and 9. Garcia shotgun. Steps up and almost has it picked off. The target was Moore, and Justin Ring almost had an interception. There are markers down.
Ring had the interception. I think Calvin Tiggle's going to be called on the interference on Travis Moore. The fans hated here because it didn't look like that Moore was going to be a factor.
Forward pass interference. Hamilton, number 73.
Yeah.
First down, Calgary.
Calvin Tiggle right here. Watch at the end of this play as he's going to turn around and then reach out and kind of grab Travis Moore. Grabs him by the shirt.
Understandably, the fans at Ivor Wynn don't like the call one little bit. But it goes as a Stampeder first down, and Kelvin Anderson gets the call. Another 5 for Anderson as he's wrapped up from behind by 77 Mike Philbrick.
Well, it's unfortunate if you're a Hamilton Tiger Cat fan. That's why they're booing, because I don't think Calvin Tiggle really had to reach out and grab more on the play. That ball was going right into the hands of Justin Ring, so there was really no reason for him to grab him, but Tiggle didn't know that at the time. He thought he was losing the receiver and grabbed onto his jersey.
He's second in the CFL in tackles with 73, Calvin Tiggle. 2nd and 5. Garcia, nice play action fake. Moving in there and has the first down. Inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. Willis Marshall made the catch.
Garcia to Willis Marshall.
16 receptions, 136 yards. Still no touchdowns for Marshall thus far this season.
Obviously got a lot more playing time in the last couple of games because of the injuries to the receiving corps, to Travis Moore, Terry Vaughn, and Vince Danielson. So Willis Marshall has remained on the roster for a few games in a row and starting to get more involved.
Stampeder drive continues after a 16-yard pickup there. Calgary inside the 20. Nice fake by Garcia. He has Vaughn. Vaughn escapes 1, 2 tackles, and he's inside the 10-yard line.
Schilling trips him up.
Well, the little fake to Calvin Anderson held Willie Whitehead just long enough. Here's a little fake. Willie Whitehead had to stop for a second. That gave Jeff Garcia throwing lane to get it out there to Terry Vaughn, and then he does the rest on his own. And if you had a question as to whether or not Terry Vaughn has recovered from his injuries, all you have to do is watch that play to find out the answer.
Another 5-yard gain. Make it 6 at 2nd and 4. Stampeders are threatening again. Inside the Ticat 10. Garcia takes off himself. He has the corner, and he has the touchdown. Jeff Garcia has given the Calgary Stampeders a nice little cushion here with 4:14 to go till halftime.
Garcia knows that Hamilton, even when they get back down in their own goal line, are going to have to play zone because of their injuries. And when you play that, you have to only rush 4 or 3. That'll open up lanes for Jeff Garcia, and then like a good point guard in basketball, when you fake the jump shot, Garcia got Calvin Tiggle to leave his feet a little bit and made a move to the outside to score the touchdown.
Garcia has taken into the end zone 5 times so far in 1998. Stampeders are a different football team thus far today, as McLaughlin pounds it through for the extra points. And it's 18-0, or 18-1, I should say. Stampeders on top of the Tiger Cats. Offensively, Hamilton has really shown us very little here so far today.
Well, you know, we talked about the injury to Eric Carter and the pressure that puts on the Hamilton defense, but it also puts pressure on Danny McManus and the Hamilton offense, because now they know to win this football game here this afternoon, they're going to have to turn it into a shootout. Right now, they're shooting blanks.
Lancaster needs a couple of wins to clinch top spot in the CFL East, and maybe a little help from Toronto tomorrow. Ticats are on top, 10-3-1. Montreal at 9-4, at home to the Argonauts tomorrow at Molson Stadium in Montreal. The other matchup on Thanksgiving Monday, Edmonton and Winnipeg. Both games on CBC. Where are you going? Winnipeg Stadium, right?
I'll be in Winnipeg, yeah.
Can't get enough work, can you?
No, I love this. I love this.
McManus 3 of 9 for 23 yards. Those are not Danny McManus numbers.
No question. He's got to respond, and he's got to do it in a hurry. He's got to give this Hamilton team a little bit of confidence that they can score, and if it turns into a shootout, they can win the shootout. This drive is going to be important for Danny McManus.
Mark McLaughlin's kickoff. Coming down to Archie Emerson at the 10. Ticats could use a little special teams help here, and not much there, out to about the 37 as Emerson ran into a pile of Stampeders. Scoring drive took 7 plays to cover 75 yards for the Stampeders. Garcia carried it in himself from 8 yards out.
Yeah, the pass interference call on Calvin Tiggle also aided in that drive, and then Jeff Garcia found a lane to score the touchdown. And I mentioned about the point guard in this play as he takes off running. A little pump fake right there makes Tiggle hesitate. He gets to the outside.
Smooth sailing into the end zone for Garcia's 5th touchdown of the season. And the Ticats have a few problems here, staring at an 18-1 deficit. Hamilton played extremely well against Winnipeg last week with 601 yards in total offense. McManus had 460 passing, but they haven't looked anything like that team so far this week, although they were playing Winnipeg. It's a bit of a difference, but that Bomber defense is still fairly solid.
Oh, they are, and right now, I mean, Ron Lancaster has to stay with his game plan. It's not the game plan right now for Hamilton that is causing them to struggle. It's just the fact that they haven't hooked up. I mean, I've seen open receivers in the game for Hamilton, and they've had some drops, so it's not a matter of the scheme or the game plan. It's a matter of just executing.
Slight delay there because the 20-second clock wasn't working. It's fixed. Ticats are ready with 4 receivers to the far side, and McManus comes close to a first down, hitting Bobby Olive, number 88. Olive was stopped by Jason Clements.
Bobby Olive close to 500 yards on the season and had to miss a couple of games because of injury. Corey Bridges played in his place. Olive spent last year with the Washington Redskins.
So a little short of the first down. This will be 2nd and 2. And finally, Ronald Williams gets the call. That'll be a big first down for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Williams finally has his hands on the football.
We talked about how important it was to get Ron Williams involved for a couple of reasons. One is that he can get the ball up there. The other is he brings an attitude with him.
3 minutes till halftime. Lancaster down by 17. It's the Ticats and the Stampeders on CFL Live.
The Dodge Durango features a 3rd bench and the most spacious interior in its class. And the same passenger and cargo carrying capability of larger sport utility vehicles, but in a smaller, more manageable size. Because aren't sport utility vehicles supposed to take you anywhere?
Talk of herbal medicine is beginning to grow. And as it grows, so does the confusion surrounding it, which means it's easy to lose sight of the fact that herbals are medicines that can affect your health, and they should be treated with respect. See the facts more clearly. Ask your Health Watch pharmacist about the benefits of herbal medicine.
Happy Thanksgiving from John and Glenn at Iverwin Stadium here in Hamilton. Now this is a good look, don't you think?
I like the look.
He has the month covered. Happy Thanksgiving, and then following Thanksgiving, it's Halloween. So he's got his costume all figured out already.
Well, you know, Ticap management was a little disappointed last week when Winnipeg was here that they didn't get the big crowd. They've got a lot more people in the stands, and they're very enthusiastic here this afternoon for this game.
Have to be enthused about the weather here today. It was 18 when the kickoff opened things up at Ivor Wynne today, and it's a beautiful sunny day. Hard to believe we're approaching the middle of October. Sun hasn't been shining on Lancaster and the Ticats, particularly offensively thus far. But it is a Hamilton first down. McManus in the shotgun. And he missed his target.
McManus's pass is incomplete.
Ronald Williams, number 24. McManus missed by about a yard. Hang with us at halftime. Mr. Duthie, Mr. Schultz, and Mr. Tillman will have a few things to say. .247 remaining in the second quarter here. Ticats send Grigg to the far side on 2nd and 10. Bobby Olive splits to the near side of the field. They've got 3 receivers sliding over on the far side. That's where McManus looks, and he's got a target. He's got a touchdown. Beautifully set up. Andrew Grigg. We talked about the great year he was having, and Grigg was home alone.
What amazes me is that the Calgary secondary didn't recognize the year he's having because they didn't cover him. Andrew Grigg wide open on the play, and this time Danny McManus made no mistake.
The pass was right on the money, and the Tiger Cats are right back in this thing. Andrew Grigg, 7 receptions, 155 yards last week in his best ever CFL game. His 3rd touchdown of the season there, and it was a beauty. 57 yards. Danny McManus to Andrew Grigg.
The Calgary Stampeders were playing a zone defense, and in the secondary, this is what you would say after a play like this. Well, if Andrew Grigg runs a curl, we got him blanketed because there are 3 Calgary defenders playing the short zone and no one deep. Danny McManus could have taken his choice between Darren Flutie or Andrew Grigg, and he chose Andrew Grigg from the outside. Watch how the Calgary Stampeders drop the zone here. Eddie Davis plays short. He has to get deep, number 29. They're playing zone. They had 3 guys in the curl and the short flat. No one deep. Danny McManus could have taken his choice.
That was absolutely amazing when you look at it from that angle, with both 82 and 89 wide open. 57-yard touchdown for Andrew Grigg.
Well, you know, we always talk about it from a secondary perspective. If you make a mistake in the secondary, they turn on the scoreboard lights.
10-point ball game now as the Tiger Cats trail Calgary 18-8. Kickoff coming down to Marvin Coleman. Nice tackle from behind. Joe Hagan's catching up to Coleman. And how about that baseball season? Lots of interesting stuff happening in this series. The Yankees got back yesterday. We'll see what happens in Game 5 today. The Yanks and the Indians from the Jake in Cleveland follows football on TSN today.
2-2 in that one, isn't it?
2-2.
Ah, that's a good one.
There's no smile yet, but I think he's feeling a little more comfortable at the Ticat bench.
Well, he's worried about his defense. Can they stop this Calgary offense with their injuries?
Garcia has Vaughn, and Vaughn has a first down. Chris Schilling slowed him down, but Vaughn stretched out and grabbed an extra yard, enough for the first down for Calgary.
I mentioned how quietly Terry Vaughn has put together 4 great years. I mean, he's on the verge of 1,000 yards again this year, and you know what? You think about all the great receivers that Calgary has. Terry Vaughn would be the first in Stampeder history with 4 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. It's pretty impressive and not talked about very often from Terry Vaughn.
course, the great Alan Pitts has had a few 1,000-yard seasons, but injuries and other factors have stopped him short
of the four
putting 4 in a row.
Yeah. Actually, Pitts, yeah, I mean, in his 9 seasons, he's done it 7 times. The only 2 times he didn't do it, he was injured and missed half the season. So
it's just the sequence of things that stop Pitts, right?
Yeah.
1st and 10, Stampeders. They're at the 45. 2:09 to halftime. Garcia has lots of time. Has to move out of there, but he makes a connection with Travis Moore, number 83. Moore's had a nice day.
The game plan for the Calgary Stampeders from here on in is very simple offensively. If they get great play from their offensive line protecting the quarterback, they will win this football game because Hamilton can only send 4. They do not want to get in any more man-to-man matchups. So George Cortez, the offensive coordinator, knows that if his 5 offensive linemen can hold off the 4 defensive linemen for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, he wins this game.
That was Moore's 7th catch. He has 92 yards already. Stampeders first down. Just across midfield. Garcia looks deep. Has a target. Oh! There was a little contact down there, but there was no penalty marker. Rightly so. Aubrey Cummings was the target. And the coverage supplied by Reggie Lowe.
Well, Garcia had lots of time. We talked about the 5 offensive linemen against the 4 Hamilton linemen. Now watch how Mike Philbrick is going to get double teamed. It's going to be tough for Philbrick and the boys up front for Hamilton because they're outmanned. And then later on in the play, Reggie Love comes up with the big knockdown. Garcia will have time the rest of this afternoon unless that Hamilton front 4 can get pressure with just 4.
Big play here for the Ticat defense on 2nd and 10 with 1:54 till halftime. Garcia looks to escape out of there. He took a big hit as he fired to unload that ball, but a big hit on Garcia. Chris Schilling has been forced into play because of the injury to Eric Carter. He's made a couple of plays.
Don Southern wanted intentional grounding on the play, but he's not going to get it because Garcia threw the ball across the line of scrimmage, but he paid the price to do it. That time Hamilton only came with 3, so Garcia had plenty of time to move around, but it collapsed when coming out of the secondary was Chris Schilling. He's going to put the big hit on Garcia as he throws the football, but it does cross the line of scrimmage, so it's not intentional grounding under the new rules in the CFL. Don Southern threw that headset right on the ground and was in the official's ear, but I think the official just said, don't forget the rule change, and then he went, oh yeah, right, okay.
Here's Martino. High wobbler. Bridges is wrapped up almost immediately, so the Ticats will start deep in their own zone inside the 25. Only a 34-yard punt, but there was little return.
That's the one as a coach, you know, when you get to the sideline, you get that ref, you throw off your headset and you are just livid and you think you've got a great point. I mean, here's the play. The ball's bouncing around, no receiver anywhere to be seen. So Don Southern says, wait a minute, there's no receiver in the area. Now he's going to argue for about 2 minutes here to the official to his left. And then the official just says, here's the deal. There's a new rule.
Yeah. Coach,
oh yeah, okay. Let me just put this headset back on and leave you alone.
Ticats with 1:37 to go. McManus's pass is batted down, but it comes right to Amerson. It's a heck of a play. Put it in the book. It wasn't batted down. It was batted up, and Amerson ran underneath it.
Well, sometimes you need to get a little luck. Ron Lancaster's had a couple of plays now. Not very often Calgary will screw up a defense like they did on the Andrew Grigg touchdown, and then Ray Jacobs knocks this pass straight up in the air, little volleyball set shot, and Archie Amerson just runs underneath it.
Amerson makes another catch. This one a little bit more orthodox and really part of the playbook. But the previous play that he made the first down on, he played it like a center fielder, just waited for it to come down and hauled it in.
There are 2 players for that Calgary defense right now that are flying around the football, and that's Darryl Hall and Alondra Johnson. Both veteran linebackers. Right now, they got up there on Amerson on that last play and really put a lick on him. They are intense in this football game.
This is 2nd and 9. And he goes for it all again. McManus has a great catch by Darren Flutie. The pass almost perfect, the reception almost the same, and the Ticats have come to life in the final 3 minutes of the opening half.
See Dave Van Bellingham from the safety position. He takes off on the blitz. Darren Flutie read the blitz, took off down the sideline, and was open. Danny McManus put it right on the money.
39 yards to gain for the Tiger Cats. They're set up at the 35, and Amerson has nowhere to go on 1st and 10. 47 seconds till halftime.
Jacobs steps in for Calgary.
Interesting turn of events. The Tiger Cats were asleep on offense through the entire opening quarter and most of the second quarter, but have come to life here now. Have an opportunity to add points before halftime. It's 2nd and 10. Ticats at the Stampeder 24. McManus shotgun. All his receivers to this side of the field. This time he looks for Williams and missed him by about a foot. Ronald Williams was the target, and pretty good coverage by Darrell Hall, who you mentioned a moment ago.
Yeah, Darrell Hall was right there, but you know what? Danny McManus is going to go and talk to Ron Williams about always running full speed, even if you're not the primary receiver on the play. This will be the very end of it, and now the ball's in the air. Ron Williams speeds up, but before that, he was kind of jogging down the sideline. I don't think he thought he was going to be involved. Danny McManus right afterwards was a little bit upset, and I think he'll probably mention to him, hey, you never know. Go full speed every play.
Paul Osbaldiston has connected on 82% of his field goal attempts so far. Is definitely within range. It's spotted for Ozzie, and he nails it. Paul Osbaldiston. A turnaround season, and the Ticats are within a touchdown now. 26 seconds to the half, and lots to talk about. When we go back to the studio on CFL Live at the half. Ron Lancaster really had to be a bit concerned about the way his offense was performing. However, McManus has come back and moved the football team, and he's within a touchdown, and I don't suppose that's all that bad considering the way the Ticats played in the early going.
Yeah, not really. I mean, he's three plays that have been the difference so far for this offense for Hamilton.
Now Garcia has 26 seconds to play with here. Calvin Anderson has a nice run around the right side. And another Stampeder first down.
Well, initially, I think the Calgary Stampeders will probably think, let's just run the ball and take the lead in at halftime. But after that play by Calvin Anderson, they may change your mind now. Yeah.
There might be 3 at the end of the rainbow here with another 17 or 18-yard gain.
Well, I think this is basically the idea here is just, you know, run the ball and see what you can get. Great block out there to Joe Mumford.
Looked like a very nice, slow-flowing play, and Anderson got a lot more than he thought he was going to get. Ball is at the Stampeder 52-yard line. Wally Buono is wondering about the clock. 18 seconds it's reading right now.
Well, it changes things now because in 18 seconds he can get 3 plays off. That run by Calvin Anderson kind of changes the thinking, I think, for Wally Buono.
Stampeders with another first down. Here's the heat on Garcia. He escapes, throwing on the run, and he has Alan Pitts for a first down. On the sidelines, there's a marker down.
Wow.
Right in the area where Pitts made the catch.
Yeah, it was in that area, but it didn't look like there was any late hits there.
Legal participation. Calgary, number 18. First down repeated.
Oh, you know what? Alan Pitts ran out of bounds.
And came back in.
And then came back in. If you get pushed out of bounds, you can come back in and catch the ball. If you run out on your own, you can't.
He's at the right. Take a shortcut.
Yeah, he's at the right of your screen, and prior to getting to that point, he had run out of bounds and come back into the field of play.
So that may do it for the Stampeders here, although 9 seconds are on the clock, and Calvin Anderson is down crossing the 47-yard line. Mike Philbrick made the tackle, number 77 for the Tiger Cats. He's had a solid opening half.
Second down.
Talked about Philbrick missing camp and then all of a sudden having a change of heart and saying, I'd really like to come back and play. He got back just in time, and it really has helped the Tiger Cats to have a non-import in that spot and playing so well.
No question about it. Calgary will be able to run the half out here with a play. Looks like they may go after one here anyway.
I always wonder why not. Send them down the field. Well, they try a little swing pass to Kelvin Anderson. The Stampeders were just trying to run him out of bounds. Justin Ring does that. So an interesting second quarter for the Tiger Cats. A very impressive first half for the Calgary Stampeders. Two of the best on turf at Ivor Wynn. At halftime, it's Calgary on top by a touchdown.
You're watching CFL Live on TSN. And we're at the half, brought to you by Health Watch, only at Shoppers Drug Mart. Now here's your host, James Duffy.
All right, welcome back to TSN Football Control. And we would like to welcome the Hamilton Tiger Cats, who have just joined us after sitting the first 27 minutes out. Thanks for coming along, guys. Looked like a blowout, and all of a sudden we have a 7-point football game. I can't believe it, Eric.
Yeah, we do have a game now, you know, and Wally can't be happy after dominating for almost 26, 27 minutes. The Calgary Stampeders now have given up a couple of big plays, and Hamilton's right back in this thing. The thing that I think that Hamilton has done a great job of, Calgary's done a great job of in the first half is taking Archie Amerson completely out of the passing game. He caught the deflected ball, but Daryl Hall, number 4, has locked onto Amerson man-for-man coverage and taken him out of the game. Last year he did it to Pinball Clemens. He's doing the exact same thing today for Amerson. Amerson is a big play guy for the Hamilton offense, and I think they have to get him involved in the second half, Chris.
I agree that Daryl Hall is one of the most underestimated players in the league, but when I look at the Hamilton Ticats, they were not focused in the opening game. I saw that far away look on the sidelines where players are focused more on the sidelines and what's directly in front of them than what's on the field. You combine that with the fact that they dropped too many footballs offensively, but more importantly, defensively, possible interceptions. And then Joe Montford, he's taking the inside move at the exact wrong time. 5 times he's tried to get that quick sack. Well, what does Garcia do? He feels that pressure, rolls, buys time, makes plays, plus 2 offside penalties. He has to be careful. If I'm Ron Lancaster, I get in front of my players and say, guys, we weren't ready to go. But the more this game goes on, the more Hamilton will get into it. I still think we'll have a close, tight football game.
That far away look, I see that in your face sometimes when I'm talking too long. Now, next Friday, folks, just as you're finished off a week full of turkey sandwiches, turkey soup, turkey quiche, and turkey jello, well, we'll be back on the air next Friday. Join us again for Adidas Friday Night Football. Hamilton and Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan cannot afford to lose another game if they want to make the playoffs. And on Sunday, we've got BC and Edmonton. If the Eskimos lose tomorrow, BC could grab a share of second place with a win. We'll be back. Welcome back. On Thursday, Jeff Reinbold was fired by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Not a surprise when your record is 6-26, but the timing did raise a few eyebrows. Why with just 4 games left in the season? I had a chance to speak with Jeff Reinbold earlier. Jeff, the firing can't be that much of a shock, but were you surprised they did it now?
You know, James, it did, frankly, but, you know, it's a decision that you know, I wasn't surprised. The decision I wasn't surprised by, the timing I was surprised by. But again, it's nothing that you control, and you know, it's how you react to it that's important, not the timing.
Jeff, you had a couple of days to let all this sink in now. What do you think led to your downfall or the team's downfall?
Well, I think the plain and simple one, James, is we didn't win enough football games. I really believe we had captured the heart of a city, and you know, you look at the fact that we had 23,000 people at our last game against Montreal, and the great thing about it was a lot of those are young people, which is a market that the CFL desperately needs to attract. But in the final analysis, you know, we didn't win enough football games.
Do you feel like you messed up?
Me personally? Oh, obviously. You know, anytime you're in a situation where you don't win, then there's plenty of fault to go around. And me, as the leader, as the guy who was the head coach, then I have to accept my accountability and my responsibility. And certainly I was, you know, I was at fault in areas.
What was your biggest mistake?
I don't know if there was a mistake in general, James, that sticks out at me. I think that, you know, we did the best with what we had to, you know, to work with in terms of, you know, player selection. And the quarterback issue is the one that everybody's going to point to. But, you know, in our time here, you know, we didn't have, or financially you know, the league has changed the structure now where you can't go out and buy a guy, and we were unable to get a guy in here that was a proven veteran winner, and so we went with young guys with the idea that we would build it, and it just didn't work out.
Do you feel like you've built a foundation for a good football club?
Well, I think every guy that gets fired says that, but I really believe it here because you look at the age of this team. We're younger, we're faster, we're more athletic. There are only 3 guys that will be exposed to free agency in the offseason. Defensively, we've got an awful lot of talent up front. We're a little shy yet in the secondary, but I think offensively with the addition of Milt back and a strong offensive line and proven running backs and the leading all-purpose yardage guy in the league, and Eric Blunt, that with a few tweaks and some adjustments, whoever comes in here is going to have an opportunity to win because this is an organization that wants to win. There's no question about that. And, you know, so from that standpoint, I think it'd be a good job for anybody that came here.
All right. Well, no one can ever say that Jeff Reinbold was boring. And, Jeff, we wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, James. I appreciate that.
Now, Gary Hoffman takes over for now, but it's not just changes in coaching. The Bombers already making significant changes on the field as well, Chris.
Well, they're already making significant changes in personnel. T.J. Rubley was released on Friday. Shante Peoples was released on Saturday. But I think more than anything else, the Bombers have to address the whole situation in salary cap. The decisions you make on the money you invest on players and whether you get that production from the players is really critical to the success you have and how close you are to the Grey Cup. The Bombers did not do that well. If you're going to invest money in players, they have to stay healthy, they have to be consistent, and they have to play well under pressure. Those 3 things are the ultimate of importance. And I really think the vast majority of the Bomber players didn't fit those categories, and definitely the ones that they kind of put their money, their emphasis around, James. It was a bad situation that way.
All right. Now, Eric Tillman. If you were running the Bombers, hypothetically, and I use the term very loosely, what would you do with the Bombers?
Well, James, you know, at this point, I really am still very uncomfortable with the speculation. I mean, there's been one meeting, one luncheon, and, you know, let me address one other thing, too. Jeff Reinbold's a friend of mine. We work together in B.C., and I feel for him right now. Sometimes it's a tough business, and it's never easy when good guys lose their job. I don't want to talk specifically about the Winnipeg situation, but I think that when teams are successful, if you look across the league, they all have 2 common denominators. That is, they have strength and Canadian talent, and they have an experience and depth at quarterback. That's a critical position. And if you're going to be successful, you better be good in those 2 areas. And as Jeff said, a lot of positive things have been done there, but the bottom line is that the record was not what they needed it to be, and unfortunately, he lost his job.
All right. Now, we have 2 more games coming up this week. They are both on the CBC tomorrow, a Thanksgiving Day doubleheader. The first one, Toronto and Montreal, an Eastern showdown. Toronto still trying to catch the Owls for 2nd place. The Owls still trying to catch the Tabbies for 1st place. And then it's Gary Hoffman's Bombers taking on the Eskimos. We'll be back with more in just a minute.
All week, your men gave you 100%. Make that 110. So tonight, you're taking them for a well-deserved night out. There's only one problem. You don't have the Dodge Ram Quad Cab. It's got 4 doors, a choice of 4 powerful engines, and plenty of room for up to 6 people.
I feel really close to you guys.
What a rush! Friends of the Riders Touchdown Lottery 98 has $700,000 in prizes. You could win one of 785 prizes, including the $100,000 grand prize. Plus, there are 10 1998 GM vehicles, 55 vacation and sporting trips, and much, much more. One major prize for every 17 tickets sold. Tickets $100. Draw date October 28th. The rush is on. Order your Friends of the Riders Touchdown Lottery tickets today. Call toll-free 1-800-668-1999.
Now the Tex-Mex McWraps are at McDonald's. People are extremely inspired. Get a taste of Tex-Mex right here in Canada with Tex-Mex McWraps. A delicious new McWrap taste with fresh toppings. Seasoned chicken, Tex-Mex sauce, and sun-dried tomato dressing. But you better hurry in. They won't be here long.
Hey, Romeo, you're Juliet. She lives next door.
My car is a lot easier to maintain than these ostriches.
Maintenance is important if it's your hair or your car.
You definitely cannot trust an ostrich.
Cars are like old hockey players. They need lots of maintenance. They break down a lot.
I go to Al's place 3 times a year.
Hi, I'm Al.
He comes to my place whenever he needs a meatball.
Get your car or truck ready for winter with the Midas maintenance package. Hurry to Midas now and get all this for just $34.95.
$34.95. That's about 7 plates of spaghetti with meatballs.
Welcome back. Well, you know the term running on empty? Check out the Ticats. 7 yards rushing in the first half. And when you do that, you know the other team's going to have the ball a lot. Calgary with the ball twice as much as the Ticats, but they only lead by 7 points after 1 half of play. Now, still 3 weeks left for you to go out and see a game. Here's the ticket information in your area. We'll be back.
The way we might have designed a room years ago probably isn't the way we do it now. But the desire to create that perfect space hasn't changed. Stunning design is based on color, like the brilliant palettes you'll find in the exceptional new 100% acrylic Designer Series, exclusively from Home Hardware and Home Building Center. The new Designer Series helps you create your perfect space.
So great. It's the Chunky Crusade. Easy, kid. Take it easy. A little souped up. Hey, here's a good guy. Grab the Chunky.
Hey, Grapes! You hungry?
Yeah. You got some Chunky?
New tortellini with chicken.
How's the Chunky, pal?
It's the spot.
All right.
What a big tortellini.
You got that right, buddy.
Campbell's new Chunky Tortellini with tender chicken in a thick, savory broth.
Next time, stay in the car.
So you won't believe what my 3-year-old son did the other day.
This man just finished planning his investments with Canada Trust.
The little guy flushed my watch down the toilet.
Our investment knowledge and expertise has made him feel so comfortable.
It was a vintage timepiece, Swiss movement. My dad gave it to me.
He now feels he can talk to us about anything.
I just wish he was more predictable. Like those GICs I bought from you.
Canada Trust. Investing can be this comfortable.
You have safety deposit boxes, don't you?
Talk of herbal medicine is beginning to grow. And as it grows, so does the confusion surrounding it, which means it's easy to lose sight of the fact that herbals are medicines that can affect your health, and they should be treated with respect. See the facts more clearly. Ask your Health Watch pharmacist about the benefits of herbal medicine.
This sports break is brought to you by Chrysler Canada.
The Stamps leading the Ticats 17-11 at the half. Back to Ivor Winter in a moment. Right now, some baseball news. And Game 4 of the National League Championship Series goes later today right here on TSN. The Padres leading 3-0. Denny Nagel starts for the Braves tonight, his first postseason start.
Denny's ready to go, chomping at the bit, and, you know, we've got all the confidence in the world with Denny. Denny just got nipped last year for the Cy Young, had another stellar season this year, and he's had plenty of rest, that's for sure. And Denny's on top of his game right now, so, you know, I just feel we need to go to Denny.
Denny Nagel better be on top of his game. If not, they're in huge trouble. This game on TSN. Let's go back to Ivor Wynn.
Ivor Wynn Stadium in Hamilton, an absolutely perfect afternoon for football. The Stampeders have played well and lead by a touchdown. The Tiger Cats had a few moments.
Yeah, they really have struggled offensively. We've talked about the injury to Eric Carter. That's really affected their defense and what they can do defensively, and they've struggled, but they are close on the scoreboard.
It's 18-11. Stampeders on top of the Tiger Cats. An important game for Hamilton, trying to lock up top spot. They need a couple of wins to do so, and a little help from Toronto or somebody else along the way to sideline Montreal a little bit. But in the meantime, it's Calgary bouncing back from back-to-back losses to Saskatchewan and BC.
And it's important for Calgary as well. A win and a loss by the Edmonton Eskimos, and Calgary clinches first place in the West, and will sit at home waiting for that playoff game to finish up in the semifinal. before they get to play in the final. So they need to win, take care of their own business, and then if Edmonton loses tomorrow, they clinch first.
Stampeders kick it out. It's Archie Amerson. Could be a good return for Amerson here. Out near the 45-yard line. So the Ticats have decent field position to begin the second half.
Well, what's amazing about Ron Lancaster is that his offense really hasn't played well. They've had 156 total yards, but if you take away this play to Andrew Grigg in the first half, this is a touchdown to Grigg, wide open in behind the Calgary coverage. Take away that play, which went for 57 yards. The Archie Amerson tip ball play, a little bit of immaculate play right here. Bounces off Ray Jacobs and up in the air. That one went for 22, and then a Darren Flutie play later for 39. All but 38 yards of the Hamilton offense came on those 3 plays.
McManus shotgun. First down, comes to the sideline looking for Amerson. And he missed the target.
Pass goes incomplete. It's second down.
Looking at the Sorrell air attack and the numbers for McManus thus far, he's favored the right side of the field. You just saw one of the plays to Andrew Grigg.
You know,
he's favored up the middle too.
You know who plays on Danny McManus's left side at the corner? Marvin Coleman.
They stay away from Marvin.
He's not having a whole lot of success out there.
Second and 10. Ticats at the 45. Hamilton trailing by a touchdown. McManus on target. Morelli couldn't make the catch. Tight coverage by Kellogg. Jack Kellogg has played well today and most of the season. 6 interceptions on the year for Kellogg.
Good close by Jack Kellogg. And here you go, a little coaching point for the young football players listening. When you're a receiver, that ball's coming across the middle like that, you really have to come back a bit to the football, come back towards the line of scrimmage a couple of steps. If you do that, you'll get enough separation to maybe have a chance at it. Because Morelli kept going straight, Jack Kellogg had the opportunity to strip it out of there.
2 and out for the Ticats again. Here's Ozzie standing at his 30-yard line. Coleman and Vaughn are deep. Oh, nice kick. Terry Vaughn fielded it near the 10. He's out to about the 17. A 58-yarder by Paul Osbaldiston.
Correction.
And here's what Jeff Garcia has looked at so far today, favoring over the middle and to the right side again.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's definitely got some pretty good balance. The middle and the right side, he's had a little bit more success, but he is distributing the ball equally across that field.
Garcia and the Stampeders begin at the 18-yard line with a first down. Calvin Anderson straight ahead. He's run very well today.
Anderson is taken down by Mike Philbrick on the play.
Looking for his 3rd straight 1,000-yard rushing season. Well on his way. 864 coming into this one, and he's over 100 today. Second down. 3 yards to go for the Stampeders, on top by a touchdown. Anderson again. And got a big hit as he stood up. That was Kyle Walters, number 7, with Schelling also in on the play.
Schelling stops him.
Well, first of all, it shows confidence in your offense when you need 3 yards and you can hand the ball in the backfield to your running back. That's confidence in your running game. But watch the hit at the end of the play. Kelvin Anderson gets the first down, but seriously pays the price from Chris Schilling, the rookie. That's the way to make your presence known a little bit.
Schilling into the game with the injured Eric Carter on the opening defensive play. Garcia. Got it away for Anderson, and Anderson was nailed by safety Rob Hitchcock.
Now, you just talked about the injuries. Rob Hitchcock had to move up to the linebacking core, and he's a hitter from the safety position. Boy, 2 big hits in a row. Listen to this. Man, that's the first one. Now listen to this. Here comes the second one. They're laying the leather a little bit.
Absolutely correct. The gain was 4. This is 2nd and 6 for Garcia, and it took a little too long to get it into play that time. Flags go down immediately.
Well, the way that Hamilton has to play.
Make a procedure. Calgary, number 59, still 2nd down.
Second down repeated.
The way they're going to have to play defensively is very simple, dropping back into a lot of zone coverage. We talked about that. So Wally Buono is going to look for Jeff Garcia to do a little bit more running. He's only going to see 3 and 4 offensive or defensive linemen coming at him. Rob Hitchcock will have to be dropping from the linebacking course, so that'll open up some lanes for Garcia. I wouldn't be surprised to see him run the ball a little bit more.
Garcia's looking at 2nd and 12 here. He sees an opening and takes out himself. Jeff Garcia out across the 40 to the 42-yard line. And that should be enough for a first down. Okay. You're on the money.
Well, you know, I mean, that's what happens, because when you can only send 3 or 4 defensive linemen, you're going to see some seams as a quarterback dropping back in coverage. And we know from the past how quickly Jeff Garcia likes to take off and run. Philbrick gets blocked right at the point of attack by Jamie Crysdale, and Garcia has a huge lane.
First down. Stampeders now at the 42. Slight delay to Kelvin Anderson. Justin Ring had him in his sights, and that slowed him down enough.
Kelvin Anderson, the ball carrier. Derek Greer puts him.
And Greer came up to make the tackle, number 20, from his right cornerback spot.
Instructions from George Cortez: just run it. Take off and run if you see the seam.
Couple of yards on the play. Look at 2nd and 8 here. The Stampeders 18-11. Calgary on top in Hamilton. A beautiful afternoon for football at Ivor Wynn. Low snap to Garcia. He unloads it in a hurry. Moore trying to adjust, and a penalty flag goes down on Schilling. And rightly so.
Well, I
like that call.
I don't know. I
watch the way he goes over and gets in front, actually.
Well, I know the call likely to be. It'll be like face guarding, where
screening.
Yeah.
Number 30, Hamilton. First down.
Well, Lazarick agrees with me, or at least I agree.
Well, yeah, and I know Sink didn't take a little right there. Right shoulder.
Easy to use, or a Zenith 20 digital-ready stereo television with 130 lines of resolution, universal night vision glow-in-the-dark remote, and SEQ front surround sound. Zenith Entertainment, just like they like it. Enter your ballot at your local Safeway Food and Drug today.
It's got to get there.
Match their numbers. No one else has the tools to keep your Toyota running its absolute best. For the finest care, see only your Toyota retailer. Toyota Quality Service, the one to trust.
Ron Lancaster at the Tiger Cat bench is still steamed at something. You think it's over the infraction that I thought might have been a good penalty call?
Well, I think it's still about the Chris Schilling pass interference. Now, the call was like screening because They thought that he didn't look back to the football. Well, watch number 30. I think he takes a deliberate move to the ball with that right arm. The only way he can deliberately swing at the ball like that is if he has seen that the ball is going to arrive. He's looking kind of over his right shoulder. He moves his arm to the motion towards the football. If he does that, he has to be looking at it. I think that's why Ron Lancaster is upset.
Stampeders are looking at 2nd and 5. From the Ticat 30, Garcia takes a hit at his target, but Pitts couldn't hang on to the ball. Garcia ended up on the turf. Well, I may have to defer to you and all your years of experience at safety in the Canadian Football League. You know, I played a little safety for the Silver Heights Spartans.
You did?
Back in my earlier years.
Now, that's game film I'd like to see.
Yeah, well, actually, it was film in those days. There was no tape.
Oh, yeah, right.
So I don't have any magical moments. And I was about 15 at the time, and that about ended my football playing career.
Well, Hamilton will dodge a bullet here a little bit by just giving up the field goal, but I think Ron Lancaster will be likely be sending that tape to the league.
Dickinson will put it down. McLaughlin will put it up. And throws the Calgary Stampeders add to their lead. It's now 21-11. Stamps on top of the Ticats. Happy Thanksgiving from Ivor Witt.
Just the two of us.
Ticats running into a few injury problems here this afternoon and in the last couple of weeks. Mike Philbrick, the latest on the sidelines, being looked at down there. Here's David Amber.
Thanks, John. Yeah, Mike Philbrick, it looks like he will be back. Not as good news for Eric Carter, though. Eric's with me right now. Eric, what's the nature of your injury?
Well, the guy hit me in my knee, and he messed up. It's called ACL or something like that. I think that's what it's called. I don't know, but it's just like tore my knee pretty bad, so I don't know. I'll know the results. I'll go get it checked out tomorrow, so I know the results then.
That's some bad news for Hamilton. Orlando Steinhauer is already out, and Eric Carter joins him on the sidelines. 2 DBs out for the rest of this game at least. Back to you guys.
All right, Dave, another part of the story. They're already playing without Cummings. The Tiger Cats are, who's injured last week up front. Misjudged by Bridges on the kickoff. And he'll be surrounded by Stampeders with no chance for any kind of a return there. So Danny McManus gets his hands on the football again. It hasn't been what has become a Danny McManus season as a Hamilton Tiger, or a Danny McManus game as a Hamilton Tiger Cat so far this season. Put together a couple of big plays, but it's only been the spectacular really so far. He hasn't really moved the Tiger Cats consistently.
No, he really hasn't. He hasn't played like he has for most of the year. I mean, coming into the game, he's on pace for over 5,000 yards. And he's not showing that yet.
You see it there in the time of possession. McManus shotgun, a little heats. He got it away. Olive makes the catch. Bobby Olive will have a first down out across the 35-yard line.
That may have looked like a simple throw and catch on a curl pattern, but it was big for one reason, and that is that they haven't completed anything over there yet in this football game on Marvin Coleman. So just to get one on that side is a big plus for the Hamilton offense.
14 yards the gain. It's a 10-point ball game with Calgary on top, 21-11. Ticats near the 37. McManus goes to the far side. Wide open target over there. It's Andrew Grigg again. Tried to make a move, but it was well covered by William Hampton, number 21. It is enough for the first down, however.
Well, it's been a battle out there. We saw Grigg get in behind the coverage of Eddie Davis and William Hampton early in the game, and that time they played it safe, played back off, and let Andrew Grigg catch it underneath and come up for the tackle.
Hampton had 2 interceptions against the Tiger Cats in the season opener. Another Hamilton first down. McManus has it batted down by Ray Jacobs. Well, it's the second time Jacobs has got a hand on the ball.
No, but he got it right this time.
Batted it down.
He batted it down and not up. See, the first time he got his hand on it, pushed it straight up in the air. That time you can see how deliberately he batted that one straight down to the ground. And watch 84 in the middle of your screen there. He gets up and bang, that one's going straight down. That's like the spike.
In volleyball, right?
Yeah, no more setting, more spiking.
First year with the Stampeders, Ray Jacobs. had his receiver fall down on the far side. Looking for Greg, I believe, number 89, and he was on the turf. There was no chance there for McManus.
There was no chance because it's all timing. Danny McManus drops back and delivers the pass on time. It's before Andrew Grigg comes out of his break. That's the only way you can do it. You got to do it that way so the defensive back can't react in time. If your receiver slips coming out of that break, play has no chance. In fact, that's when a lot are intercepted.
Vaughn is one of two deep for the Stampeders. Coleman is the other. And they fake it. On a punt opportunity for the Stampeders, Jarrett Smith takes off and turns it into a huge first down. Ozzie was back in formation. And Jarrett Smith, on a gamble by Lancaster, makes it pay off. There's not much joy at the Stampeder bench.
Because the gaps were not canceled on the punt return team for the Calgary Stampeders, and Jarrett Smith takes full advantage and hits it right up the middle on a real gutsy but great call by Ron Lancaster. Look at the hole.
Jarrett Smith out of Waterloo, the all-time leading rusher at that school, has the biggest play of the day for the Tiger Cats. Here's McManus. He's got room to the right. Little play action fake, and he took it himself. Another Ticat first down. Up at Ivor win a little bit. Back-to-back big plays for the Ticats.
Danny McManus gets one of these every 3 or 4 games where he'll fake it to Amerson and take off running by himself. The reason he only gets one every 3 or 4 is because you surprise the defense with it, and then after a while they will react to it. So you can only run it a couple of times. No one's going to game plan to stop that play right there from Hamilton.
Ticats with a first down at the Stampeder 22. 5:52 to go, third quarter. McManus looks to the end zone. Touchdown! Great series, Archie Amerson. He's back in the park on the real grass. Why does it look so simple sometimes and you struggle so long in the early going?
Momentum is a funny thing, John. When you get momentum from a gutsy call on a fake punt, you can carry that into the end zone, and Archie Amerson did just that.
Jarrett Smith really set things up when he rambled for the first down on the fake punt. And then McManus, another first down, and then the touchdown to Archie Amerson. 5th receiving touchdown of the season for Amerson. He's an outstanding player for the Tiger Cats. We got a ball game, folks. It's a 4-pointer with Calgary on top. Amerson in all alone.
Play Safeway's $1 million touchdown to win. If your name appears, you won a fabulous trip for 2 to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. You'll stay at the Villas Vallarta Hotel and fly Air Transat, all courtesy of World of Vacations, Canada's #1 tour operator to the sun. $1 million touchdown to win at Safeway Food and Drug.
Your favorite CFL team now has their logo on your favorite credit card. It's the CFL MasterCard credit card. Support your team and take advantage of the benefits that over 346 million MasterCard cardholders worldwide are enjoying. Each stylized card has your team's logo on it. So support your team 12 months a year and pull out your card. Call 1-877-4CFL now for your CFL MasterCard credit card. When you pay with us, you play with us.
Play Safeway's $1 million touchdown to win for your chance to win $1 million. Participating products include Nabob Coffee, Kraft Spaghetti Dinners, Campbell Soups. Now there's a million more reasons to shop at Safeway, today's better way.
Archie Amerson got the touchdown, but the big play was prior to that, 28 yards on a fake punt situation.
And this is a game plan thing. I mean, look before the snap of the ball, the natural hole right there for Archie or for Jarrett Smith to run through. I mean, that's something that you see on game film during the week, and then you set it up. You draw up this play to take advantage of that alignment by the Calgary Stampeders, and of course that set up the touchdown to Archie Amerson.
Amerson, a 22-yard catch for his 5th of the season. And it's the Stampeders on top, but all of a sudden it's only a 3-point lead. Ready for Osbaldiston's kickoff at Ivor Wynne. Marvin Coleman and Kelvin Anderson. This is Coleman out to the 10. Away from the first wave of Tiger Cats, and he's dropped at about the 17. Ticats scoring drive, rather impressive in some ways. 7 plays to cover 87 yards. A little unorthodox in others on the fake punt and the 22-yard carry by Jarrett Smith. McManus to Amerson on a nice 22-yard touchdown.
Yeah, this is a touchdown. First of all, Danny McManus rolls the opposite way just to take any safety help out of there, and then it's a one-on-one with Amerson on Clement. Jason Clement had him early, but lost him late.
Kelvin Anderson. Submarine by Joe Montford.
Wow, Montford gambled, rolled the dice, and came up 7s. I mean, he had contain on the play. He comes off the edge, and he's likely in charge of containing Jeff Garcia to the right. He's going to come from the right of your screen right here off the edge. Now, his first responsibility is containment, but he gambles, goes underneath, and bang, wins.
The gain was limited to 1 by Joe Montford. 2nd and 9. Stampeders at their 17-yard line. Garcia stands in. Here's Alan Pitts. Wrapped up by Chris Schelling.
Garcia complete to Alan Pitts. Schelling stops him for Hamilton. It's a Calgary.
Schelling has played pretty well for a guy who wasn't expecting to see this kind of action today.
Well, he made the tackle on Pitts, and the only reason that play worked for Calgary was because of the block by Ron Meyer on Joe Mumford.
He was beaten for a first down there, but he's made a couple of big hits. Chris Schelling in his first game of seeing any kind of action here. 1st and 10 Stampeders. Garcia in trouble and wrapped up.
It's a broken play, John.
Obi Spanik. Something went awry in the Stampeder backfield, and Obi Spanik was through to make the tackle.
Well, it looked to me like Kelvin Anderson either didn't get the right call or forgot what the call was, because watch how Garcia turns around expecting to hand him the ball. Kelvin Anderson is going out laterally to his left. When Garcia turns around to do the handoff, he's not there, so he just hangs on and takes a loss.
Loss of 5, 2nd and 15 Stampeders now. At the 25. Garcia looking for a target, and no one was home. He just threw it away.
The wall here at Ivor Wynne Stadium is awful close to the sideline, so when you get hit near the sideline as a receiver or a quarterback, you always want to make the argument to the official that maybe it was late. Garcia delivers this one and then gets pushed out of bounds quite hard. You see him running right into the wall there, and then because there's only about 4 or 5 yards from the wall. You see there, right down the sideline, is about 5 or 6 yards you get to that wall. So even though that was definitely a legal push, well within the boundary, it didn't take long for Garcia to find that wall.
Tony Martino is in. Corey Bridges is back. Martino across his 15 to get a deep kick away. Bridges was nailed in his tracks. Hello. Aldi Henry, solid special teams player, was up to meet the Ticat returner.
Well, this is a great tackle and a hard hit. I mean, he just ran right through Corey Bridges there.
Well, the keg game story looks rather interesting at this stage of things. Garcia had an interesting beginning. McManus came on a little bit later.
Well, 10 first downs for Hamilton, but they're still in this game.
Ticats have made the big plays, haven't they? Yeah. McManus McManus on first down.
Oh, man, the hitting going on right now.
No markers anywhere, and fans are roaring a little bit about that.
Well, they thought there was some little bit of extra business going on there after the hit.
17,900 at Ivor Wynn today.
This is what you call...
It's a ham sandwich, or at least a Hamilton sandwich.
Well, or Morelli sandwich, or... Gets hit pretty hard here. It's a good solid hit coming across the middle. He didn't really have a shot at catching this ball. On one side is Jack Kellogg. I'm not sure who the other guy was, but that's a nice Morelli sandwich right there.
2nd and 10, Ticats from the 40. And McManus must have taken a little too much time there because they whistle it down quickly.
I call him on procedure, it looked like.
Legal procedure. Hamilton, number 68, still second down.
Illegal procedure, 5-yard.
So that's against Dave Hack. Not a time counted violation at all.
You know what happened, though? Danny McManus saw the halfback blitz coming from Jack Kellogg and was likely audibling at the line of scrimmage. And when he had to change the snap count to do the audible, probably Dave Hack just heard the sound and made a movement.
So it's 2nd and 15. Ticats at the 35. McManus gets it away in a hurry for Amerson. And well read by about 3 Stampeders, led by Jack Kellogg. Amerson was wrapped up before he could take a step.
Jack Kellogg's having his best year, no question. 6 interceptions on the season. That was a great open field tackle on Archie Amerson. Really coming into his own in his 4th year as a Calgary Stampeder. He played a little as a nickelback early in his career and really got his first chance to be the starter and the regular player at the halfback position for Calgary this year.
Coleman and Vaughn are deep for a 3rd down kick from Paul Osbaldiston, standing at his 20. This is Marvin Coleman, wrapped up at the 40 after a 44-yard Osbaldiston kick. Right after football today, a little baseball that should be rather entertaining. The Yanks and the Indians, Game 5. I don't know who I like in this series anymore, but David Wells is on the mound for the Yankees today, so I kind of like the Yankees' chances.
I heard that David Wells wanted to pitch last night.
He wanted to get in there?
Yeah.
A little early?
He's excited about this game.
The ALCS continues on TSN. There's been some great baseball action and lots of controversy in the series so far.
Well, there'll be some hits in that one, and there's been some big hits of a different sort in this one. It's Aldi Henry.
Aldi Henry is the injured Stampeder.
There's Aldi Henry. He's wrapped up in his block there with Kyle Walters. It looked like he may have when he tried to get back there, may have rolled his ankle.
A minute 15 to go in the 3rd quarter. Stampeders started well. Wally Buono almost smiled. And the Tiger Cats have roared back on big plays. Calgary has dominated in many areas, including time of possession, first downs, total yards, all that stuff, but it's only a 3-point advantage on the board.
I want to take you back to Game 1 of the regular season between these two teams. In that game, Ron Lancaster's Hamilton Tiger Cats, I think, dominated for 3.5 quarters. They really came out and surprised Calgary in that game, ended up losing on the last-second catch from Travis Moore. This game seems to be the exact opposite. Calgary is dominating, but Hamilton is hanging around and hanging around and hanging around.
17,854.
Calgary Stampeders really had a great run going, winning 6 of 7 games in a stretch, including 2 over Edmonton and 1 over Saskatchewan for a 3-game win streak. The last 2 weeks, 0 for 2 for Calgary. They have something to prove in Hamilton today. Jeff Garcia had a target, and there's a marker down. Travis Moore was the intended receiver. Gerald Vaughn got a hand on the ball. And maybe a late hit on Jeff Garcia because the flag is down in the Stampeder backfield.
Foul, roughing the passer. Hamilton, number 92. First down, Calgary.
That's Willie Whitehead.
Willie Whitehead, who is right over here, is arguing his case. 1, 2, 3, no question. He could have pulled up. I mean, you be the judge. This is how it happened. Regular speed from the outside throw. 1, 2. Yeah, it wasn't a real hard hit.
Well, he backed off a little bit.
Yeah.
However, Stampeders get a first down in midfield. Here's Kelvin Anderson. And he's got close to 7 yards.
Kelvin Anderson carries the ball from the.
Well, it's interesting, that penalty. We just saw that penalty from Willie Whitehead after talking about their first meeting, because it was a couple of penalties, a late hit on the quarterback and a pass interference that set up the Travis Moore touchdown in that game. Calgary ends up winning. So we talked about it being one of the keys. Hamilton get away from that penalty situation.
Kelvin Anderson has 103 yards so far today, picked up 6 on the previous play, making it 2nd and 4 here. Play action fake Garcia, good one. Looks to Vaughn's sidelines. He might have made the catch, and he did. They're ruling it a catch. I wasn't sure that he could stay in bounds, but apparently he did.
Well, I don't know how he did. I mean, he was going full speed to the outside. It's amazing that he was able to catch that ball and also keep his foot in bounds. You only need 1 foot in the CFL, and here comes the play. Garcia rolling, nice throw against his body. Now watch. Whoa, that was close.
Close call.
That was close.
They ruled it a catch. It means a first down. Stampeders are set up at the Ticat 35. Should be final play here of the 3rd quarter. Garcia has some room himself. He'll get the first down stepping out after a 10-yard run in front of Obi Spanik. We've got a great game at Iverwin today. It's the Stampeders by 3, and there's a quarter to go. You're watching CFL Live on Thanksgiving weekend.
The 3rd quarter.
You're watching CFL Live, and we're at the quarter. Here's your host, James Duthie.
Yes, and after that brutal start by the Ticats, we thought this one would be a laugher. It's finally living up to its billing as a possible Grey Cup preview. And if the Ticats can come back and win this game, that fake punt by Jared Smith could be the key, Eric.
James, you know what? Hamilton ran the exact same fake punt against Montreal a few weeks ago, and it worked to perfection and was a turning point in what was a big, big win for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. But the thing that I want to talk about, I have to take issue with my friend Glenn Suter on the interference call. I just cannot believe Glenn thinks that that was not a penalty.
But the reason he thought it was is because when you interpret the rule, you have to make an effort. You have to look behind you. And if you look really close, you watch his head look around right now, and then the hand comes up.
He engages the receiver. The ball's not there.
If you're the referee, you saw that. You saw him make the effort before the contact. In my estimation, it could have gone either way, but I don't disagree with it. If it was an interference penalty, that would have been right. But if it wasn't, that would have been okay.
I'm going to tell you what. If you think that that's not a penalty, you need these worse than I do.
No, I'm okay. I'm healthy that way.
Well, I
just think what it is you have to make the effort to look at the ball, and when you make the effort, that's what the referee sees, and then in his mind, then it's incidental contact. So I think it's a 50-50 shot.
Stay here with us. You're a much better announcer than you are official.
Okay. I don't want to be official.
See, I feel safe to say it because I'm way over here. If you make the effort, fine, but if you hit the guy before, it's still interference.
Yeah, but then it's uncatchable football.
I'm really shocked, though, that Glenn Suter would go on the side of a defensive back. What a shocker that is. I'll never argue with Schulte again, by the way. He's too big. John, Glenn, take it away.
Okay, now I'm trying to work out the tally. Tillman agrees with the referee and with me, right?
Yeah.
Schultz agrees with you, Lancaster. So it's 3-3, right?
Well, no, but you know what? With Chris Schultz on my team,
yeah,
I like our chances. I like our chances in that battle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but Schultz isn't here.
That's okay. He'll take care of the studio, and I'll take care of the field. We'll be all right.
Well, Lancaster hated the call. He agrees with you, and
so did I.
And you hated the call.
Yeah.
I'm a little iffy on it. I kind of ride the fence every once in a while, as you've noticed.
Yeah. You're doing nicely right up on that fence.
It is 1st and 10 Calgary to begin the 4th quarter. Here's Garcia throwing on the run. And he's close to a first down. Aubrey Cummings, number 87, made his first catch. Here are the numbers through 3 quarters. Ticats are closing the gap a little bit with big plays, but in time of possession, it's been all Calgary.
Yeah, that's what is amazing about this game. I mean, you're looking at a 3-point game with Calgary dominating the time of possession. I mean, they've had the football close to twice as long. I mean, you can hold on to the football that long, you're supposed to win in a big way.
2nd and 2, Stampeders. Ball at the Hamilton 16. Kelvin Anderson straight ahead. He'll likely have the first down. We'll see where they spot it. But he had a pretty good head of steam up and roared through there. Anderson over 100 easily today. It is a Calgary first down as this drive continues. Stampeders really want to hit the end zone here and buy a little breathing room, because the Tiger Cats, although they haven't played all that well all game long, certainly haven't given up on this with a 3-point ball game here and now. 1st and 10, Calgary at the Ticat 13. Garcia sees an opening, and he stopped after a gain of about 3. Mike Philbrick, 77.
I think based on the coverage that Jeff Garcia saw downfield, he was running this one from the get-go. He just took the football, took off running. I mean, I think he took one little peek to the outside to see if Kelvin Anderson would open up. He didn't, and then just took off.
Second down. Stampeders need 10. Here's Garcia. He's got down to the 1-yard line.
Garcia's pass is complete.
Travis Moore. I thought he might have made his way into the end zone there, but he didn't quite get the ball over the line.
Travis Moore, I mean, timing is everything. I mean, Travis Moore catches this football and in a split second ducks his head, or he is going to get pounded. Watch this, right down as he ducks his head there. Reggie Love comes over the top and hits his own teammate, Chris Schilling.
It's a Ticat collision here over top of the Calgary receiver.
Just look at this, split second, and he ducks just in time.
Somehow they kept him out of the end zone, but the Stampeders are first and goal to go at the Tiger Cat 1. Called it a touchdown, but Garcia took a monster hit. Hitchcock doesn't think he was in.
Well, they're giving it to him.
Well, the signal was up immediately that he'd crossed the line, but Hitchcock nailed him and forced him back about 1.5 yards.
Well, he took a gamble by leaving his feet, because once you jump in the air, you have nothing to push off on. You see Hitchcock and Tiggle hit him, perfect timing, and knock him right back into the backfield by about 4 yards. The question is when he was in the air, did the ball cross the imaginary plane of the goal line?
They say so. 6th rushing touchdown of the season for Jeff Garcia. He's got a couple on the run today, but a big hit at the goal line. So the Stampeders drive for another touchdown and restore a 10-point lead. Garcia does a pretty nice job. The Ticat fans don't think he was in the end zone. Well, they call it a touchdown, and the Stamps lead by 10.
You would not be completely human if you did not mostly prefer to be elsewhere. The 205 horsepower Isuzu Rodeo. The 205 horsepower Isuzu Rodeo. Poof, you're a woodsman.
When you're a champion, you've got to work night and day to protect your title. Everyone wants to put you to the test, to make you sweat. But if you've got antibacterial odor fighters in your corner and 24-hour wetness protection, the kind you find in new Speed Stick Ultimate Antiperspirant, the best Speed Stick ever, you'll be a star in and out of the ring. New Speed Stick Ultimate, tough 24-hour protection.
My man.
Play Safeway's $1 Million Touchdown to Win for your chance to win $1 million. If your name appears, it means you have won VTEX 900 megahertz digital cordless telephone with visual name and number call waiting caller ID, featuring 50 caller ID memory, 20 number speed dial storage, and backlit keypad. Or a Samsung Hi8 Hi-Fi stereo camcorder with color viewfinder, 12 times optical power zoom, built-in lens cover, and remote control. Simply treasured for now and for always. Simply Samsung. Enter your ballot at your local Safeway food and drug today.
Jeff Garcia has taken a pounding so far in 1998. A couple of weeks ago, he broke his nose in Saskatchewan. Listen to the hit here on the goal line. It's Tiggle and Hitchcock both thinking, Glenn, that they had stopped Garcia from getting across the line.
Well, they timed it up perfectly, but the official was right on the spot and said that ball did cross the plane.
Corey Bridges returning the kickoff for the Tiger Cats. And he's run down by Aldi Henry.
Aldi Henry gets the Special Teams Player of the Week in my book, if there was one.
Well, maybe we should institute it.
I think it's a great idea.
Glenn's Special Teams Player of the Week.
Well, Aldi Henry has been all over the field on these cover teams.
Let's bring in David Amber.
Thanks, John. Yeah, Aldi Henry is back and playing quite well. He got a helmet in the chest earlier, but obviously that is no ill effect out there right now. As for Hamilton, the defensive woes continue. Defensive tackle Obi Spanik, a Hamilton native, he hurt himself. He expects to be back, though, later in the game. Back to you guys.
Ticats are getting very thin on defense, but right now it's up to the offense. 1st and 10 for McManus, beginning at the 15-yard line. Nice catch out there by Williams. Pass behind him, but Williams hauled it in.
But it's a better matchup for Jason Clement. Jason Clement was the victim on the Archie Amerson touchdown because he was caught in one-on-one coverage on a deep route. This time, Jason Clement is in charge of covering Ron Williams, tracks him out to the flat and puts a real nice hit on him.
Gain is only 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7, Tiger Cats, trailing by 10 to the Calgary Stampeders in a battle of the best in the East against the best in the West. So far, Calgary has the advantage. But there's a long time to go. 10:30 remaining in the final quarter. McManus on 2nd down. Oh, he had Flutie. Flutie couldn't hang on, and the ball hung up there. Looked like a Stampeder might have had a shot at the interception. Not quite.
Well, Danny McManus had lots of time to throw the ball. The right side of that offensive line do a nice job of protecting for him. Steve Anderson's coming. Elijah Johnson comes on the blitz. It's picked up nicely in the middle there. He has time to throw, and he'll be the first to tell you that he just wasn't quite on target. He made Darren Flutie kind of look back behind him and try and go up. It was a catch that we usually see Flutie make, but it was
catchable, but it was
it was a tough one.
Would have been a difficult reception. Vaughn is back along with Coleman. Osbaldiston standing near his 3-yard line. The Stampeders will get good field position here as a marker goes down. Garcia will get his hands on the football one more time. We'll check out the infraction when we return to Ivor Wins.
This sports break is brought to you by Steel, makers of the #1 selling chainsaw worldwide and a complete line of outdoor power products.
Gino Reda with some great news for fans of the Montreal Expos. The team has re-signed its manager, Felipe Alou, to a new 3-year, $6 million contract, a deal that nearly didn't happen.
I had a plane ticket to go to Los Angeles today for a press conference like this on Monday, tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the Expo people had requested me to wait until they offer me. They have something working to offer me, and not to sign anything until I saw the offer.
And don't forget, we've got coverage of Game 5 of the ALCS right after the football game.
Now the Tex-Mex McWraps are at McDonald's. People are extremely inspired.
Game Story is brought to you by Keg Steakhouse and Bar. For great steaks, good friends. See you tonight.
Garcia's having a pretty good day. 20 for 32, almost 300 yards passing. McManus not so good, but he has kept his team close with a couple of big plays. Big discrepancy in offense, rushing yards and 1st down.
I'll say. Calgary 28 compared to 10 first downs for the Tiger Cats. The penalty was against the Stampeders, or against the Tiger Cats. The Stamps are set up near the 40 as Kelvin Anderson carries.
This is a big play for the Hamilton defense because the great defenses in the game have to rise up when they face adversity.
And this is it, giving Calgary the ball at the 40-yard line after the penalty.
Exactly. Don Southern is facing another first down in scoring position. With the injuries he's had, they've had a lot of adversity. Calvin Teagle's got to get him cranked and up for this one play right here.
Teagle is the leader of the Ticat defense. 2nd and 6 for Garcia here. Man open, he'll get the first down. It's Terry Vaughn making the catch, and he's down to the 25.
Garcia's pass to Terry Vaughn complete. Greer stops him for Hamilton, but it's a Calgary first down.
Vaughn with 879 yards receiving coming into the game.
Well, how badly did they miss Terry Vaughn last week?
And Travis Moore.
Right. Both having big days.
And Vince Danielson expected back in the next couple of weeks, so that's good news for Calgary. 1st and 10, Stampeders. In the Ticat 25, Kelvin Anderson appeared to be stopped. He escaped. Anderson, what a great burst of speed to turn this into a first down play. I thought he was stopped in his tracks. Somehow, he broke away.
Well, the great ones will do that to you. You just can't hit a good running back. Hit him is the first part. The second part is to wrap up your arms behind him. Rob Hitchcock hits him hard in the hole, but he doesn't wrap up. Kelvin Anderson keeps his feet, turns around, and uses his speed to the outside.
It's a 15-yard gain. Kelvin Anderson has 127 yards and 1 touchdown here today. Stampeders are set up 1st and goal to go at the Ticat 10, and this Hamilton defense is a little weary right now. Don Southern has had to patch things together a little bit with key injuries coming into the game and then some injuries as the game has worn on. 1st and goal to go. Garcia gets a chance to put it away. Anderson hits the end zone for the 2nd time. Kelvin Anderson has 137 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns, and that's a big story for the Stampeders.
Well, we talked about the Calgary offensive line struggling last week. They have really picked it up in this game this afternoon. Now, we talked about the injuries to Hamilton, but at the same time, watch how the side of the line just folds down right here and opens up the huge hole. Look at that. Fred Childress takes Philbrick right out of the play.
So it's a little quieter at Ivor Wynne all of a sudden. The Stampeders have really taken the wind out of the Tiger Cats' sails. It's 34-18 as McLaughlin adds 1 more to that total for Calgary. With 7:46 to go in the final quarter, Stampeders look to be back on track. They're rolling over the Tiger Cats here.
Now the most trusted name in winter boots goes to work. Made to take whatever the work could dish out. Sorel protects you better, lasts longer, and feels more comfortable. Get Sorel working for you, whether you're kicking in or just kicking back. Sorel, rugged, Canadian, original.
Always fun to be at Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton, particularly on a Thanksgiving weekend and a nice bright day today. I know you're not going to get an opportunity to have the turkey dinner, so I've got something ordered for you here now. This is Roger Wardell, and he's going to serve you up your turkey on Thanksgiving weekend.
Now, what's happening here? He's
No, hang on.
What is that thing?
Roger has got the Wiener rocket machine down there.
Okay.
He's going to load it up and fire you a hot dog. Get ready, catch it. Ah! All right. Interception number 53 in your career. That was headed to me. Nice catch, Suits. Happy Thanksgiving. Ticats have turned in a little bit of a turkey here today. They have struggled offensively and fallen 17 points behind.
You know what?
I'll tell you what.
After that routine, there's not enough mustard for the hot dogs up here.
I'll tell you what.
Well, you know what? When you look at that hot dog toss, I mean, this is really what you need to do.
Good trajectory.
You got to execute the hot dog toss.
You got to have soft hands. That's absolutely mandatory. And the key, the real key, so you don't mess up the shirt, is no mustard on the hot dog.
We got no mustard. Well, thanks for the dog.
Thanks, Roger. That's a Maple Leaf hot dog, by the way. There's a little free plug for Roger, the hot dog guy here, and his wiener rocket. And Ivor win. Back to football. Enough frivolity. 7:24 to go, fourth quarter. McManus as his receiver. He'll have a first down on the far side to Bobby Olive.
McManus complete to Bobby Olive.
What's more fun than football?
It's great. Well, this crowd has been involved in this football game all the way until that last touchdown, and they've been fired up. They've been fired up at some of the calls by the officials, and you know what? 7 minutes is a ton of football left to play. Now, Hamilton's going to have to score 3 times.
McManus should have close to a first down here. Ronald Williams has not been used a great deal this afternoon. We thought they would try and establish that running game. They really haven't. They've gone to Williams passing as much as coming out of the backfield, really.
Yeah, they need to get him more involved early, but they'll try and work him into this last 7 minutes.
There's the run, and there's a first down. Ronald Williams needed a couple, and he got much more than that. A gain of close to 8. It'll move the sticks for the Tiger Cats.
Same sort of play that last week he broke for a touchdown right through the Winnipeg defense. This time he was like a step away. One little trip right there. I believe it was Bronzell Miller just got his hands on Ron Williams' feet.
66-yarder against Winnipeg last week. McManus looking deep, almost picked off. Morreale was the target, and he drew double coverage near the end of that. Van Bellingham over to help out.
When you have to score 3 times, you take some more chances, because that time Danny McManus tried to force one in. Here's Marvin Coleman's going to break on the zone. He's got deep coverage here, but when he sees the ball in the air thrown to the inside receiver, he could come off the outside and break on the football. And Dave Van Bellingham coming from inside out. So pretty good coverage from the Calgary secondary. McManus trying to force a little bit behind by 3 scores.
6:05 to go. 35-18. Calgary on top of Hamilton. 2nd and 10. Tiger Cats. The ball at Hamilton's 45. McManus really needs a first down here. Couldn't get it. Hampton was covering, and Andrew Gregg couldn't bring it down.
It's 3rd down.
Really the strength of their secondary. Marvin Coleman, William Hampton on the corners have been solid all year. They're getting good play out of their halfbacks. Eddie Davis really come on in the second half, but Hampton has been solid cover guy all year. This is the very end of the play, and really he had the best chance at that football. Ball thrown a little bit inside.
Osbaldiston from his 30-yard line. It's Coleman deep for Calgary near his 20. Time ticking down on the Tiger Cats. Garcia, when he gets the ball back, is going to try and take a little more off the clock, which reads 5:37 here now. Whoa! Ozzie unloads one. Back to the 10. Coleman. And about a 7-yard return on a 55-yard punt. Ticats' next opponent, the Saskatchewan Roughriders from Taylor Field on Adidas Friday Night Football. Hamilton at Saskatchewan, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific time. Should be a good crowd for that one, as the Roughriders roar back a little bit. The hotline for tickets at Taylor Field, 1-888-474-3377. Riders really have to win this game to keep playoff hopes alive in the West.
Yeah, talk about must-wins for Saskatchewan after losing to the BC Lions on Friday night. Now every game is important, because BC wins 1 more and they really have to win all 3.
Prior to that, a nice little run for the Roughriders with wins over Calgary and Toronto. Hard-hitting football game. Kelvin Anderson has been a very busy runner for the Calgary Stampeders, and that's one of the reasons the Stamps have had success here today, as Anderson is well over 100 yards on the day, 142.
Yeah, he's
on 13 carries.
He's the key, no question, to this Calgary offense, John. I mean, we talked about at the very beginning of the game. Calvin Anderson has to be involved. When he gets over 100 yards, they win. It's simple.
And they're 4:35, those Stampeders, away from winning here today. They have a 17-point lead. And Anderson has his hands on the football one more time. Running better than he did at the start of the game. Some running backs are like that. The more you hand them the football, the harder they run.
Well, absolutely. You start to get a flow for the game. You start to absorb some hits and bounce off them. And really, Calvin Anderson has looked great this afternoon, bouncing off hits and never letting the first tackler bring him down. .405 to go in the fourth quarter. Another Stampeder first down. Garcia has racked up a lot of those this afternoon. Out of the 35, why not give it to Calvin Anderson?
The ball carrier for Calgary, Rob Hitchcock, makes
you know, Wally Bono's got to be happy that he has a running game like this and Calvin Anderson to burn up the clock. But in fairness to Hamilton and their defense, I mean, they were hit hard with injuries.
Wally Bono promised me that he would smile if he won here today.
Okay.
I suggested that he could smile a little bit more on the sidelines, and he said, that's exactly what my wife tells me all the time. Well, and I should smile every once in a while. So he promised that he would smile if he gets a win here today. Garcia looked at a couple of defensive backs and looked at Travis Moore, who drew double coverage. So Garcia took a little time getting that one away, looked right then left, and almost made contact with Travis Moore.
Well, he did it to try and look off Kyle Walters, who was playing free safety at the time. Kyle Walters right in the middle of your screen right there. He's going to break on the football. Jeff Garcia gave him a good shoulder fake to the opposite side of the field, but Kyle Walters really didn't bite and then broke over there. Here he goes right underneath the receiver right there, Travis Moore, going down the field. And he times it up pretty nice, gets his hand in there and knocks it out.
3:08 to go. Martino is in for Calgary. Bobby Olive, one of the deep men for the Tiger Cats, along with Corey Bridges. High kick, fairly deep. Bridges calls for it. The 16. Stampeders have been pretty solid on special teams today as well. A 53-yard kick. 3-minute warning is out. At Ivor Wynn and Hamilton, Danny McManus needs 17 points to tie. It's a long shot for the Ticats on CFL Live.
The Dodge Durango features a third bench and the most spacious interior in its class. And the same passenger and cargo carrying capability of larger sport utility vehicles, but in a smaller, more manageable size. Because aren't sport utility vehicles supposed to take you anywhere?
Elvis Stoico gives his all. No holds barred. Nothing held back. Just full out with everything he's got. Like McCain Frozen Punch goes full out with thirst-quenching flavors like grape, orange, and fruit punch. McCain Frozen Punch delivers the real fruit taste of real fruit juice every time for champions like Elvis. When you want it all, go for the real taste of McCain Frozen Punch.
McCain, full out taste every time.
When you're a champion, you've got to work night and day to protect your title. Everyone wants to put you to the test, to make you sweat. But if you've got antibacterial odor fighters in your corner and 24-hour wetness protection, the kind you find in new Speed Stick Ultimate Anti-Perspirant, the best Speed Stick ever, you'll be a star in and out of the ring. New Speed Stick Ultimate, tough 24-hour protection.
5 minutes. Glenn Sutter was right on the money when he picked out the keys for success for the Calgary Stampeders today.
Well, first one, Calvin Anderson, 159 yards rushing. That's an indication on first down you're having success. Stop the run, did that. Play as well as the record. Well, they've answered the critics, no question about it. Calgary's back.
You're 3 for 3, partner. That's not bad at all.
Quarterback for Hamilton, number 11, Cody Ledbetter.
Cody Ledbetter into the game now. McManus will watch the final 2 minutes and 35 seconds from the sidelines. Ledbetter near side as Andrew Gregg. Gregg was absolutely surrounded. There was nowhere to go after he made the catch.
We saw what it takes. Saw what it takes for Calgary to win, and we were putting up there what it took Hamilton. They wanted to win this football game, what they would have to do, and well, let's see. Score early. Calgary scored first.
Loose ball in the Ticat backfield, grabbed by David Hack on an exchange there. Let's look at the play and then we'll check out the keys here.
It's third down.
Shotgun formation. Ledbetter has no idea the pressure's coming from that side of the field. Let's go back to those Hamilton keys. We already crossed out the first one because Calgary scored early. Look at that, 179 yards. Big play for Calvin Anderson. Avoid penalties. Well, 11 for 130, including a very controversial pass interference.
The one you hated.
Gets
That's a penalty.
That got Eric Tillman and Chris Schultz a little fired up.
Lancaster's on your side, and he's seen a lot of football, so I'm sort of sliding over to your side with Lancaster because he was irate about it. Anyway, it has not been a Hamilton day. In fairness to the Tiger Cats, they're almost facing the situation that Calgary faced last week. There are too many injuries on the Tiger Cat defense to really hope to be successful today, including losing Eric Carter in the opening moments of this ballgame.
Yeah, no question, John. I mean,
and the adjustments they've had to make really have been far too many to have success.
Spotted at midfield, first and 10 for Calgary.
Game 5 in the ALCS, the Yankees and the Indians coming up next. You want to pick a winner today?
Well, I'm going to go with David Wells and the Yankees. They're probably watching this on TV and just getting ready, warming up a little bit.
In the locker room at Jacobs Field and Cleveland, they'll be checking us out. Anyway, Game 5 is tonight on TSN. We'll take you all the way to the World Series, and hopefully we'll see a smile on Lancaster's face next week or sometime Thanksgiving Day.
We'll have to wait for it for at least a week.
Calvin Anderson over 150 yards and a few more there as he's down to the 50-yard line and wrapped up by Joe Montford.
You know,
Montford has not been as dominant as we've seen him today.
Well, he hasn't been, but that's because a lot to do with the injury situation for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. When you have a lot of injuries, then you can double team Joe Mumford. So it's been a tougher day for Mumford to get any pressure on. And you think when Obi Spanik was hurt, Mike Philbrick got hurt in there a little bit, Tim Fleiser's already out. I mean,
and Jeff Cummins, who's out of the ballgame.
Absolutely.
Did not dress at all today. That gives him a little support, Montford, as Cummins lines up beside him most of the way. A minute 39 to go. 2nd and 5, and flags fly on the Calgary Stampeders. It's 35-18. The Stampeders have dominated the Ticats here today.
Legal procedure, Calgary number 63, still second down.
Second down repeated.
Stamps have 3 games to go. They'll be against Winnipeg next Sunday, followed by Edmonton and BC. This win today for Calgary means almost a lock on top spot. It means that if the Eskimos lose one of their remaining 4, Calgary is in automatically.
That's right. Edmonton loses tomorrow. Calgary's got first.
Wrapped up, Dave Dickinson. So Whitehead celebrates, but it's a little bit late for the Tiger Cats.
You know, just to go back to that point, I mean, Ron Lancaster has this ahead of him. He's in Saskatchewan, he's in Toronto, and what he wants to do is get his team healthy. Just to go back to that point you made about injuries, Calgary struggled last 2 games when they were injured. Hamilton has had to suffer through injuries last couple weeks and then a bunch this afternoon. You think back to the Friday night Saskatchewan BC game. Saskatchewan loses that game, but they lose their starting quarterback Reggie Slack early. I mean, when you talk about coaches saying we got to be a little lucky down the stretch, that's what they're talking about.
Now, Montreal will host Toronto tomorrow. And the Alouettes are only 2 points back of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, so win tomorrow would put them even, except Hamilton will have the advantage in the season series should it eventually end in a tie between those two teams. But Lancaster wants things decided, obviously, before that final game against Montreal on the final weekend of the year.
Oh, yeah, those guys like to have it, you know, they want to have it decided by mid-season. We always talk to those guys about, you know, all we really want is a close game. You guys, let's just have a close game this afternoon. They just say, we just want the blowout.
Yeah. We like them close up here in the broadcast booth. Down on the sidelines, they want things wrapped up very early. Stampeders have been in control all day. And they have a pretty good lock on things now with 1:20 to go. Bobby Olive has about 2 on the return, and that's it after a 38-yard kick. Baseball coming right up after CFL Live today. Again, it's the Yankees and the Indians, Game 5 in the ALCS. What will happen today?
Ball is at the 27-yard line, 1st and 10, Hamilton.
The West Division standings, Calgary Stampeders now with a 6-point advantage on the Edmonton Eskimos. The Eskimos are fading badly, and they'll be in Winnipeg tomorrow. BC is coming on with 3 straight victories to close within 2 of the Eskimos in a battle now all of a sudden for 2nd place in the West.
Hey,
you wouldn't have thought that about 3 weeks ago about the Lions, would you?
Well, no question. I mean, Edmonton has been struggling. That's not a lock for them to beat Winnipeg tomorrow.
Mike Morreale comes up with a late first down.
His pass is complete to Mike Morreale.
For the Tiger Cats, and Johnson will draw a penalty marker down there. Alondra Johnson in on the tackle on Mike Morreale.
Well, how big will the Montreal game be tomorrow?
It's huge.
Montreal-Toronto, when Ron Lancaster stares at the Eastern standings after this one is over. Gets a little tight.
And that's the first of a home-and-home series, Montreal and Toronto, beginning in Montreal this week and then back at Skydome next week. Same 2 teams. I think it's pretty difficult for either one of those teams, Montreal or Toronto, to win both those games.
Well, it's always tough to win back-to-back like that, but you know Ron Lancaster will be cheering for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And cheering for the Argonauts for a change.
Well, he'll be cheering for the split.
The split, yeah. Cheers for the split. 1:06 to go at Ivor Wynne and Hamilton. Ledbetter at the controls for the Tiger Cats now. Long out to Bobby Olive, number 88. And you have to wonder what's going on with the Eskimos as they line up against the Blue Bombers in Winnipeg tomorrow. New coach in Winnipeg. Eskimos are a team in some kind of turmoil. They really had a tough time in Montreal last week.
Yeah, they are really struggling offensively. A lot of pressure on David Archer of late, but I still believe David Archer has what it takes to win in this league, and I think we'll see more of him as it goes down the stretch here, playing better.
Mike Morreale makes the catch, grabs a couple, but not much there. Game ball today is brought to you by Toyota Quality Service.
Guess
Try
who?
one, the one to trust. And here we go. Why not? Kelvin Anderson, nice day. 164 and a couple of touchdowns. At one point, I stumbled and said he was going to go over 1,000 yards today. He came in with 864. He almost made it to his 1,000 today.
Oh, you had to live up to your billing there.
Yeah. He is over 1,000 yards, couple of touchdowns today. 2 straight 1,000-yard seasons coming into this. And the Ticats are slowing things down here, folks. The conclusion was determined a little while ago with Calgary on top, 35-17. Had 2 more for the Stampeders. A win away or an Edmonton loss away from clinching home field advantage for the West Final.
That's pretty nice when there's about a minute left in the game and you're the starting quarterback. Put together a pretty good afternoon. You can go over and sign a couple autographs on the sideline.
Not quite the same story for Danny McManus, although the numbers don't look all that bad for McManus today. No interceptions, tossed a couple of touchdowns. What he didn't do was consistently move the Tiger Cats offense. He
That's
had some
right.
big plays, but
Yeah, and he's not signing autographs because all the Hamilton fans have left. There was a pretty good crowd here, but they're all gone now, and it was just a few Calgary fans that were left, so Garcia's the one signing the autographs. They hit the exits when Calgary scored that second go-ahead touchdown.
over, or at least close to 18,000. I think it was 17,900 and some odd here when the game began. Now we're waiting for the smile that Wally promised us.
It's a grin now.
It's a grin.
It's not, I wouldn't classify it as smile yet. No, it's still grinning. There's still a few seconds left in the game.
Ledbetter spots a little bit of an opening and runs for the first down, a few yards to spare. And another flag goes down on the sidelines with 40 seconds to go. The outcome is
there. It is.
Not been in doubt. Was that it?
I thought I saw it. I thought. No, maybe not.
If we see it, folks, we'll replay it somehow.
69. First down.
A couple frustration penalties going on the field right now for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Not that Wally is a grumpy guy, but he's a very serious guy on the sidelines.
They all are, really. I mean, it's too important. It's their livelihoods. They're on the field. They're winning and losing is how they are hired or fired.
He's had a great run as the head coach of the Calgary Stampeders. Most dominant team during the regular season right through the 90s.
Right now, he just wants his guys to be smart and get out of this game without anyone getting hurt. No talking. That looked like the no talking sign.
A reminder, we'll get right to baseball after we finish things up here at Iverwin Stadium in Hamilton. And it's a matter of 40 seconds on the clock. Yankees and the Indians coming right up. Ledbetter makes contact with Darren Flutie into the shadows here at Iverwin. And that was a bullet shot.
Well, it's good for Cody Ledbetter to get a few reps in the game, but you know, if your backup's in and your starter's not injured, that it's a bad sign.
Here's the game story again. If you're just joining us, Garcia started well and finishes very well, 21 of 34. McManus struggled a little bit, but threw 2 touchdowns. Ledbetter is wrapped up by Richie Hall. 32 seconds remain now.
Daryl Hall, Richie Hall.
Oh, hang on. He used to play for Saskatchewan.
Richie Hall did play for the Calgary Stampeders.
Yeah, he did, as a matter of fact.
And I know he'd probably be watching this game, so he'd probably.
And he has the biggest smile in football.
That's
but he's
right.
been retired a year or two, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
It is Daryl Hall, number 4. Here's Ledbetter, 28 seconds to go. Oh, and he's taken down heartily by Anderson. The ball squirts loose, and it's right to the Stampeders. Jason Clements comes up with a loose football, and it's a matter of moments now before we send you to baseball.
Well, I'm just wondering if Wally has cracked that smile we talked about. Like, I mean, this. Okay, well, this was the drive. He's still mad.
No,
was that mad? I think he's still mad. That was during the drive when they got the first. When Hamilton got that first down, that's when he was. Well, wait a minute. There we go. I think we can classify that as a smile.
You're calling that a smile?
I'm calling it a smile. It's official.
Okay, well, we'll give Wally the smile. He wins big today. Stampeders are back after a rocky couple of weeks, but when we look back to the loss against BC, although the Lions played very well, the Stampeders last week really had some injury problems.
Yeah, you can't take anything away from BC. They do look like they're starting to get it together.
16 seconds left on the clock. Now it ticks down to 13. Yankees Indians coming right up as soon as we wrap it up here at Iverwin. Game 5 of the ALCS. David Wells on the mound for the Yankees. And this should be it. Final play of the Stampeder victory at Iverwin on this Thanksgiving Day weekend. Calgary, the dominant team here today, no doubt about it. And the final score reads 35 for the Stampeders, 18 for the Tiger Cats. Happy Thanksgiving to Glenn Suter. And from Glenn Suter and John Wells, so long from Iverwin.